All right, folks, welcome back. London, England. Lovely shot there tonight of Piccadilly Circus.
Yeah.
We're not that close to that, but it's nice. We got some live footage of it. Very, very cool to show you a little bit of London tonight. Last game, determining who's going to go to the semifinals. Welcome back, my friend.
Yeah.
Before we jump into this last one, NiP, NaVi, you got a little tidbit.
Yeah, I got a little piece of trivia for you because not only are Envious one of the best teams in the world, number 2 ranked in my top 10 at the moment, but this is kind of like an end of an era to a degree they're placing at this tournament because since they formed this particular 5-man lineup way back in, I think it was in September. No, it must be earlier than that. Maybe August actually. No, maybe end of August. Okay, so for quite a long time they've had this same lineup, and they never placed outside the top 4. They had 14 straight offline tournaments where they were top 4 or better. And so 15th one, this is the one where they go out here. And obviously extra bitter the way it went out because they only actually lost 2 maps in the whole tournament.
Yeah.
But the way that group particularly played out, everyone won 6 and lost 2. So that just how it ended up happening.
Yeah, I mean, that's the downside, I guess, to stacked groups, right? Like anybody can take maps of anybody. Yep. And, you know, what with, you know, even the Aussies sort of pitching in and taking maps unexpectedly. You know, this was a stacked tournament, so there was always going to be a giant killing, so to speak, early on.
Yeah, I mean, crazy stuff. And again, kudos to Titan for sure,
Yeah,
and Virtus Pro. You know, and kind of another interesting tidbit: Virtus Pro won the very first Counter-Strike tournament for Gfinity when we were at the Copper Box. Yep. So maybe they'll put another one in their pocket, and maybe that helps Taz beat you on the bet for the money.
They're now the only team that can become like repeat champions. Because Envious won the last one and they're out.
Yep.
So just throw another dart into Envious there. Like, are you going down, guys? Throw some more in.
He's a trivia machine, isn't he?
Oh, speaking of which, just so we have all the stats out there, all the pieces of trivia, all the ledgers nice and balanced, okay? I noticed Richard gave you a masterclass before. You have to understand the techniques, okay, and how you perform as an analyst, okay? The trick is to remember what to say and then what to kind of hide, like a magician. So what he said was, listen, guys, Virtus Pro, they went through there. I actually had him labeled earlier on in the tournament as one of my dark horses. I thought maybe they could go all the way. Didn't mention that he had Envious winning the tournament, but why would you? Why would you?
Hey, here's the thing, Doug. Okay. I believe we mentioned that already in the broadcast.
Okay. I don't watch
far be it from me to bore
the casters. I find them boring.
Yeah. I feel the same way, mate.
Well, but interesting enough, like
except when I'm on.
Yeah, obviously.
Majority of you all did pick Fnatic, and they're not in yet. Like they're on the bubble too.
No, Fnatic are already in.
No, I thought.
It's impossible. It's between NaVi and NiP who goes in now. Fnatic have 6.
They are already.
NaVi have 4.
Yeah. I'm sorry.
Listen, don't worry. My picks are safe.
It's just about whether they come out first or second in the group.
Put it this way. He wouldn't be peacocking it up to this degree.
Yeah.
If there was any risk.
I should have known. I should have known he did his research.
But it's possible NaVi, who were my dark horse, could still go out. NiP could still win here.
Yeah, because it comes down to, again, like whether they won and won it or 2, one of them takes a 2-0.
Yeah.
Full disclosure shield.
Keep it all out there.
No, I like it. That's right, because Fnatic is in. It's just first or second is not determined yet because of the round difference. So let's kind of talk about it. We don't have the vetoes or anything yet, but again, classic matchup, and even a little bit of old school classic matchup. I mean, again, different rosters in that sense, but both these teams existed back in the 1.6 days.
And literally, some of these players were on those teams.
That is true.
It's not even just the organizations now.
Yep, that is true. So, I mean, what are you thinking off the top of your head?
See, the thing is, generally, my prevailing logic with NiP tends to be that even if sometimes they can look weak and sometimes they can get smashed by the teams above them, every now and then Fnatic or Envious would just tear them off completely. I feel like they're one of the best teams at playing teams that in theory are lower ranked than them. The ones below them, they always have the grit to get past them. They're so good on all the maps. Like I'm feeling like NiP should be favored to win this. I think NiP's going to win it actually. Despite what NaVi have shown us and some of the impressive results, I still think NiP, in this sort of a scenario, they usually just outclass people like that.
Yeah, I mean, again, it's a real tough one. I can't get a read on where NiP are at the moment in terms of they look brilliant in that series against Fnatic, and you're thinking, right, okay, this is it. They've got the coaching, the guy we've just had here with us, Natu's in. They're perhaps overcoming some of the mental blocks. I mean, that's an even more stellar performance when you consider that Get Right's come in with health problems and it isn't 100% physically. So you're like, right. This is a new look, resilient NiP. This is what they needed. They've ironed out the kinks. They're ready to go. And then today it's fits and starts, and they're losing maps, that they wouldn't ordinarily, and giving up rounds that they wouldn't ordinarily. NaVi, on the other hand, again, they probably is going to be my original pick for a dark horse. I think that they're a very accomplished team. And it's like Duncan says, they always just fall short in the big games. Like, it's an inch, but it's enough for them to lose. Now, coming up against the NiP, that seems to be, again, misfiring that you can't get a read on. I think this series could be a draw. I mean, I can realistically see NaVi taking one map.
If it's a draw, NiP actually goes through.
Yeah.
And NaVi has to just 2-0, but because there's no round difference involved, it's just essentially,
And that's what I mean.
for NaVi, they go through. Otherwise, that also is interesting because I hadn't actually thought of that fact. I was thinking who wins or who loses overall, but NiP only have to win a map.
Yeah,
so
exactly.
That actually, if I thought of that even more favours NiP in a sense. They only have to get the one.
I mean, I think overall we're going to see NiP go through that psychological buffer of knowing you only need one map. But then again, it depends how much that fires up NaVi. I mean, in the break, NaVi were in the player lounge. I mean, they haven't relaxed. You know, everyone else was on the beanbags. No chance here. They were sat upright, you know, talking to each other about what they're going to do. They know in a lot of ways the destiny's in their own hands. If they can 2-0 NiP, they're through, and that would be a major kill.
As you speak about NaVi, let's go ahead and bring up their roster. Why don't you kind of walk us through this, Thorin?
Yeah, okay. Well, we'll start on the right here. Flamey, the newest recruit, young guy out of Russia here, known for his explosive style of play, befitting his name. Then we've got Edward. Interestingly, Edward used to be a huge fanboy of Forest when he was just an unknown Ukrainian player. And so early on, when he became a top player, he actually used to put his name as Focus WoW, like to copy Forest WoW, just to kind of show his idol. And he's obviously going to play against him in this match, so a chance to kind of
I see how you spend the break, mate.
I mean. Then we've got Guardian in the middle there, and just take it down, because why let me continue on? Luckily, I know the players,
you know them
so
all.
don't worry
Right
about
you still got them. They're right here.
Don't give away the secret, Scoots. So then we got Guardian in the middle, Star Orper. I mean, actually, I thought, okay, he's going to have a chance to go head-to-head, maybe show up JW. I think JW got the better of that battle earlier on.
Yeah.
Then we've got Seized here, and he's actually also one of the newer players in the lineup. Not from the classic NaVi, but he's been it was him coming into the lineup that forged like the newer era of success, where they actually famously beat NiP, won one of the Star Ladder titles. Then finally, we've got the old guy, which is Zeus here. Been in the Russian, Ukrainian scene a long, long time. Actually played with Russian players, famously back in the days when it was more like separated, but he actually played in a Virtus Pro lineup when it was a Russian team. And he's a very famous in-game leader. Got a very distinct style of like slow, and he always waits till 20 seconds before they go into the site. It's a very unique style, actually. No one really plays this style at the moment in CSGO.
And let's go ahead and flip it over to the NiP roster. And Richard, when it shows up, you can kind of walk us through that. Obviously, everyone in the world knows these guys.
I was going to say, it's a bit like telling your grandmother how to suck eggs at this point, you know, talking about NiP. But yeah, go on then. I mean, I guess the way to look at it is who's going to turn up today. And we've talked a lot about Arlo over the course of this tournament. You definitely don't need to big up Get Right or Forest in any way, shape or form. So here's what's intrigued me this competition has been Exist and how he's been performing. Because actually, he's been turning up frags-wise, and it has been the case for the last few events. You know, yesterday, especially in the series against Fnatic, had some pretty insane rounds where he was getting, you know, 3 kills. He was making kills with the pistols, really, you know, clutching for his team. That hasn't always been the case with Exist. You know, obviously, as a team leader, a lot of focus on that aspect of things, and it's natural that other areas, you know, are going to drop off. In terms of Forest's performance, again, yesterday he was titanic. That was like the Forest of old. But he's had a 3-month period where he's been really poor. Like, probably he's their weakest player. A toss-up between him and Freiburg, or him and Exist, depending on the tournament you look at statistically. Now, that can't be happening for NiP. I mean, that has been a massive factor in why they've underachieved. People theory crafted, people said it was about a change in mouse due to a sponsorship deal. People were talking about real life stuff and how it might be affecting him. But the main thing is, here and now in this tournament, he's back on form. And those are things that are going to be hugely significant. And obviously, just to throw in something about Freiburg there, he's been looking a bit more like his old self. This was a guy who could terrorize on certain maps. Great entry fragger, and that's been missing from NiP. That's been missing from this new look NiP for a long period of time. So it's good to see him getting back to it. Again, they've got all the tools to succeed in that arsenal.
When you say looking like his old self and terrorizing, he looks there like he's on one of those Wild West wanted posters.
Yeah,
like $10,000 silver, beware, dead or alive.
That is, you know, the face of Crime Watch, isn't it? Like, you know what I mean? It's pretty brutal.
Have you seen this man?
Yeah.
Whereas Alu looks like he drinks moonshine straight from the can.
Speaking of, there's kind of there's a little bit.
Never
there.
change.
I always have to go with it. Don't
Never
I?
change.
I just say what I see. It's the Red
I
Walker
don't know
approach
why
to
more
life.
players don't like you. I
I
never
don't get it
understood
either.
Like.
I mean, I think they're just closet Thornists, you know.
Yeah.
You're either a Thorinist, a closet Thorinist, or you just haven't yet become a Thorinist.
Yeah,
There's only those three categories.
Or you haven't been exposed to Thorin.
Yeah, exactly.
And he does expose himself often.
All right, so we're waiting for the vetoes. And again, just a reminder, folks, we'll just walk you through one more time, like as kind of Thorin mentioned. NiP only needs one of the two. That gives them 6 points. That ties them with Fnatic. Then we just look at rounds to figure out who goes out of the group first and second place. Yeah. NaVi is only sitting on 4 points right now, so that's why they need to win both, because they get 3 points for both. Gives them 7, puts them actually in first place of the group, no questions asked. Fnatic comes out second place. So again, like you said, kind of cool for NiP. Only got to win one. All the pressure on NaVi, got to win 2.
Yeah.
And the kind of the cool part about it is that we don't care about rounds. I mean, Fnatic might care in the sense of first or second, you know, if they get that first map. But NaVi just has to win.
Yeah.
And win both, and they come out first place.
Win ugly, win by any means. And,
by the way,
that makes it an exciting tie.
I mean, I hadn't thought to ask this, but I would assume even, like, if NiP wins map 1, so technically NaVi's out at that point and NiP's through, will they still play map 2? I'm being told no. Because obviously NaVi won't. I imagine NaVi won't be like, yeah, just play another one for an exhibition.
You wouldn't do it for the fans, do it for the love?
Don't know why you're asking me. They're telling me off screen that it's gone. I didn't decide it, Rich.
Yeah, but I'm trying to pretend that's not happening.
I think they should actually have, if NiP only wins one, they should have a boxing match to decide who gets the spot. Yeah.
I think what
else
happens,
versus
okay,
someone
is
else, I think.
if NiP do win that first map and there's no need to play the second one, I think you should go down into the soundproof booth with all of the NaVi players and just introduce yourself.
And I'll show them, like, on their fingers how the system works.
Have you seen this tweet? Flamey, have you seen this tweet?
No, what did he tweet?
No, I'm talking about your tweet. Anyway, never mind. But so I mean, looking.
Stop drama.
So we don't have the vetoes. What we do have is what they chose.
Yeah.
So and we're gonna bring that to you. So NaVi's choice was Dust 2. NiP's choice was Inferno.
No, the joke is I'll go down and I'll say to NaVi actually, oh, you guys, it turns out you're actually only 1 round away. That little 1 round, and I'll point to Flamey and then I'll walk out. Hey, I'll drop the mic as I do it.
So I like this series for NaVi, you know, and I mean, like, first of all, I think the fact that we're having Dust 2 first.
These are good maps for them.
I think that's really, really open. Like, NiP have recently changed their tactics on Dust 2. That was apparent that they were struggling with it, as we saw the other day in the Fnatic game. Now, they changed how they hold short. And typically it was Arlo that was doing that, kind of playing in that mid position where it's like, I can peek long, but if they come out short and they flash, you can just hide around that corner and bang them with the AWP as they come out. Now, it was Get Right that was holding short in the last time we saw them play Dust 2 at this tournament against Fnatic. So that's changed, and it wasn't working. I mean, you know, Fnatic were getting up short willy-nilly. It was real easy for them. So I think NaVi can definitely have some joy in this one. And again, Guardian's AWP is going to be a huge factor on a map that favours, you know, good AWP play. So, if I thought NaVi were only going to get 1 map in this series, it's going to be Dust 2, I think, if they're going to do it.
No, I would concur to that thought. Like, actually, in terms of the problem that if it was going to be 1-1, but unfortunately NiP won the first one, it's over already. If it was going to be 1-1, I think the chances actually are we're going to get to see both maps, because I think the best chance is Dust 2. Now, saying that, I'm still going to go with NiP 2-0 here, because and I just have to be proven otherwise. So, let's see.
Stick to it. We talked about
Bring it, Navi. Bring it.
Follow it through.
This is what matters.
All right. Thank you, gentlemen.
Yep.
Last match of the night, determining who's going to go through to tomorrow, NiP or NaVi. And we've got Henry G and DDK to bring you all the action. Take it away, gentlemen.
Thank you very much. And we're back, Henry, for the last match of tonight. So what do you think? We've got Inferno, we've got Dust 2. What are your thoughts?
I think it depends on what map comes up first, to be honest. Like, if it's interesting. We know how strong both teams can be on Dust 2. Like, I think you mentioned before we went live that you think NaVi have been really explosive on Dust 2 recently.
Yeah, Zeus somehow just has amazing games there.
Yeah.
And he's not normally a standout player, but there he's quite good.
Yeah. So I think until we find out, we haven't actually been given a veto yet, so we don't actually know. But I think that's what it's going to come down to. Obviously, NiP only need 1 map, and if they can close it out on the first one, I think if it's Inferno first, I think, in my opinion, NiP will close that, and it will be their game. But if it's Dust 2 first, I think it's got to be on a knife's edge. Here we go, Dust 2 first.
All right.
We've seen it on our screen. Sorry, you don't see that behind the scenes stuff, but it's going to be Dust 2 first. And I think if Guardian can get rolling on Dust 2, especially on Terrorist side, it's going to be very hard to contain him. I think he's the kind of AWPer like Richard was mentioning earlier. He's like, especially on like when the people are crossing in the gap and stuff like that, you have to factor him in and kind of consider he pretty much hits the shot almost every time as you go across. I think it's going to be a really interesting game. I think this will be great. We've casted quite a lot of NiP on Dust 2 so far, and I think we've seen pretty much everything they do. They work very methodically together. It's for very working the picks and working at what the CTs are doing, and like they normally kind of opt to go out the middle or work up short. Those are the two things you can expect to see from them. We haven't actually casted, well, I haven't at least casted NaVi on Dust 2. Can you give me the insight to what they may bring to the table?
Well, I mean, as you mentioned, Guardian is of course a very key player with how strong he is on the AWP, and going up against NiP, they very often want to get Alu and then Forest on the AWP like as fast as possible. So, I think whenever you see NiP versus Fnatic, it's just 4 AWPs on the map constantly throughout the entire match. I'm not sure whether we'll see that with NaVi. I imagine they'll probably stick to just Guardian for most of the time. Yeah. But generally they tend to play their setups very strong. And again, Zeus comes into play like really across the map as just an awesome defensive player. Again, I'm not sure what it is exactly. I haven't looked specifically why, but he always pulls out a lot of frags, both defensively and offensively. And they've got Cease making the entries. Their default play is really strong. So I would predict this to be a really close match on paper.
This is going to be
honest.
like a classic game of Counter-Strike, isn't it? Their teams playing, working the picks, working out the map, and I think there's not going to be any like high profile tactics or anything like that. It's just going to be raw talent and raw killing. But here we go, we're going into the pistol round now.
And already Edward is just taking a peek up middle. I really like this actually, just to get some very fast info to see if he can spot anyone crossing from spawn still, to give an indication of where they're going. But he didn't see anyone doing that. He saw them up mid, so they have a good idea. But the bomb is actually towards upper dark, and if NaVi overreact, this could be problematic at the moment. We will see Forest peeking in now to cause some havoc. What is he going to get? Not much at the moment. And look at all the movement from NaVi. They're already repositioning someone into B. They've done really well on the rotation here. They have moved into excellent positions, and they are covering mid like heroes. But the bomb has made its way into the B site. However, Garo is very low, and Alu is not in the best position ever by the window. And here is the onslaught of NaVi players, and that's going to be it. The defuse will come in, but they rotated so well there.
Yeah, I think we see a lot of teams do that mid to B split on the pistol round, especially as terrorists. Like they tried to get some presence on the map elsewhere, but like their execution coming out of middle, they just got absolutely decimated there. You can see Edward picking up 3 frags with the USP and not even dying there. So that was all Edward for me. He managed to get himself some very nice frags there. Got himself an M4 now. And although NiP did get the bomb down, sorry. So they're going to be going for AKs next round. I love that. I think that's a much smarter idea than getting for the Tech 9s and armors and stuff. I think getting the AKs and securing the next round is a much better way to get your economy rolling and win the next round and have AKs the following round after that.
Yeah, and you know, in the same vein, we have NaVi just picking up the M4, 2 M4s and 2 Famouses straight away. So no SMGs, no messing around.
It's classic CS. Like preempting the AKs are coming, you're not messing around with the SMGs and stuff like that. You know you've got something to deal with next round. So get this one out of the way, keep it long range, don't lose your rifles, and then it's going to be the proper gun round next round. So we know it's coming.
And this is just going to be one of those kind of hopeless situations where Cease gets to pad out his stats a bit. Oh, and sells a nade, and he's going to land the frag onto Forest. So pretty easy stuff there. I mean, there was no hope there from NiP to really get anything done.
It was a throwaway round. We know what's coming here. So like the AKs will come out. Alu does have enough money for an AWP if he really wanted to do it. He hasn't done it. Like that would have been a bit of a Hail Mary play, but it could have happened. So we've got the 5 AKs now. As long as they play this slow, they have got the gun advantage. They just don't need to do anything silly. Don't give any picks away. Play their game. Work out what the CTs are doing. I wouldn't be surprised if the CTs try to flash in and try to get some advantage, some information on the map, just because they know they're behind on the armor.
Oh, this is quite huge actually. Forest is going to spot both players on B at the moment. However, they don't have any position on Cat, so they can't make a quick push onto the site. So it's still just these pick plays coming in to affect. And so far, NaVi are doing quite well with these scouts, and this is problematic because NiP are trying to contest on these ranges with the Scout of Guardian. Do they have to? That's the question. But however, Freiburg, most wanted in Sweden, is going to push his way straight through the double doors and find the M4 of Flamey. So we're going to have a situation for NiP where there are 2 men left, 2 flashbangs to their names, and well, just an A push to go with. NaVi not in position for this, so NiP going to make a really nice attempt to take this round down despite being down a man. So just have to wait for NaVi to get in position here. And here comes Zeus. Does have Flamey with him, I believe. And there's the first frag. Get right facing alone. There comes the trade from Alu, but he's stuck in the flames, and it is Flamey to take him down as well. So nice save from NaVi.
Strange holding position from Get Right there. Unorthodox to say
Yeah,
the least,
just
on top
sitting
of the bomb site.
So I'm here, guys.
Yeah,
I'm over here.
maybe he's just really confident in himself. Like, I feel like they could have crossfired that a little bit better and played off each other a little bit more. But great round from NaVi. As I said, they needed to get those early frags there. They knew they were behind. So you saw that flash come into B tunnels, facing Forest, 2 men at the same time. That was really, really smart play from them. They knew they needed to get that early frag. They got it. And now you can see Guardian has got the AWP now. And this is where he works best. And there it is.
Yes.
He just, how fast is he? That's amazing. Yeah. That's the kind of stuff you can expect to see here. Expect more to come. And just to mention that NiP have actually got armor here on the Tech 90, so they do see themselves and they fancy this round a little bit. That guy was just like trying to get off the spawn. Yeah, the guy's like, nope. I haven't seen that in a while. That was really good.
And here we go. Guardian gets to start feeling the momentum with the AWP. What a shot. Guardian going completely mental with the AWP, picking up ridiculous kills, almost getting the ace as well, and just making it look completely just so easy. Yeah, that is just vintage Guardian. He's just such a sick guy when he gets going. Like those shots he could hit all day, and like now he's got the ball rolling 4-0. Expect a lot more of that. And this is going to be Ali trying to contest with Guardian, who could potentially be playing that position, but he's going to get boosted up. I love this mix-up here. Ali perhaps expected him on mid. He's not there. He's going to spot, I think, just a pixel to give him the position. However, Guardian, he's going to play it safe, and this is why he's such a strong AWPer. He doesn't tend to be one of those... I agree. He moves a lot, but he takes safe, or the safest plays that he can. So again, back to middle for him. You're absolutely right with that. Like a lot of players are much more frantic and won't consider the consequences when facing. But like Guardian's very aware of his team, the outcome, and what happens to his team if he dies. That is why I love watching his AWPing plays. So much, so methodical. So methodical. But at the moment, NiP just taking the kind of basic map control. They've got 1 man on short at the moment. And lots of movement from NaVi, in particular from Guardian, who's actually picking up a lot of intel consistently for his team. And they've fallen back into that very standard setup. Although they've got 2 players on long, and it's just Guardian on A. So if we actually saw that wall of smoke play onto the A-bomb site, that'd be really dangerous. But NiP are actually moving towards B at the moment, so they're going to go for just the play into B, relying upon Alu to hit the shots. He will hit the opening, but in comes the grenades, and this is going to make life really hellish, and they are committed to the play, trying to push through the smoke. Thank God for Forest, though, able to bail NiP out of a very dodgy situation and get themselves into that B-bomb site. In comes Zeus from long, though, to clean out the lurking player in Get Right, and that bomb still needs to go down, and NaVi are almost knocking at the door of that B-bomb site. And Zeus is taking down Freiberg, so this is going to be tough for Forest. Now, how is his form? This is going to be tough, and he will go down. So nicely done that round from NaVi. I loved actually how they moved around, got loads of information, then we're like, okay, back into the full setup, guys. Yeah, so we saw Alu actually getting the opening frag into B then, and I think NiP just saw that as a free pass into the bomb site B. Edward came and did a huge amount of damage, only managed to pick up 1 frag, but you saw him getting a lot of body shots onto the other players there, and Zeus picking up a couple of kills there as well. So it was just a nice retake, like nothing too impressive, like, but I think NiP perhaps rushed the decision to going into B a little bit too quickly, but it's going to be another full buy round here, AKs and armor in the hands of NiP, so here they go, outside long. Oh, Flamey, he's completely circumvented this smoke. He's got, oh, excellent stuff there. 3 quick frags from him, and he single-handedly locks down the long area and gets the bomb to boot, and Guardian's just chilling up by the A-bomb site. Doesn't need any assistance, but this time, finally, Exist will best him, but he is alone against 3 men, and with that bomb down in the position that it is, you'd never expect NaVi to give up any even kills in this spot, let alone the bomb. So Exist trying to get done what he can. And one thing I'm curious to see is whether or not NiP are going to go for that wall of smoke play that's so effective. I was about to say that. I think they're getting absolutely out-fragged here. Like every opportunity that normally most teams won't face that much when they go up on shore like that, but we saw Flamey there just go for a full-on 3-man spray, and he's like, unless NiP starts smoking off the choke points, that's going to keep happening. When Guardian's on this sort of form and Flamey's hitting those sort of shots, you've got to start smoking them off, and like you can't just face them and hope you're going to outpick them. Like, but NaVi are firing on all cylinders right now, so you're going to have to reassess their approach to this map and either choose a different part of the map to enter or start actually utilising the smoke grenades. Yeah, I mean, the other thing about it as well is that if NaVi are playing 2 men on long, that makes that Wall of Smokes play even better, because you need that guy at Goose to kill the guy that's supposed to get the guaranteed plant and short. If you can kill him and delay it, that's the counter to it. It's really hard to deal with, and I'm expecting NiP to pull it out of the bag at some point. But for now, we're just seeing a really hot NaVi, especially Guardian. He's hitting all of his shots, and it's gorgeous. It's great to watch that kind of Counter-Strike.
And there we go, the classic NiP play, walking out middle, smoking CT spawn. But it looks like the smoke was a little bit late then. It should be pretty easy for NaVi to deal with this. Gfinity being the last man there. Seeds picking up a couple of frags here. And they just look so confident. 7-0 right now. We know NiP kind of can get a bit shook up when it gets to this sort of scoreline. We need to make sure they get back into this one now. Alu has opted to pick up the AWP. Forrest kind of considering something. No, he's going to get
I think they're going to do it in this round.
Yeah, I think you might be right. I think like
Freiburg always gets the Molotov in that kind of a round.
Yeah, you're absolutely right. Like, oh my God, that was a great shot. Nice work from Alu. I guess they naded the doors and he kind of just preempted the thing there. But it's NaVi looking like sees, knows he has to get a frag back here. This is a very smart play from him.
Oh, and he might just make things really troublesome. He's trying to get the advantage back into the team, into his team's favor, and it's not going to happen just yet. They're down even more men, and now Guardian's going to have his try as well. All spots the play, even gets the connection, but through the door, unfortunately for him. So still a lot of work to be done, and they've kind of thrown NiP off of any play that they would want to make, but now it's about adaptation, and that's what they're doing. They're going for that B play. They see the weakness, and they are pressing hard on it. Guardian, though, he's up by the window with that AWP, and there you go. Excellent stuff from NiP, smoking him off, but he gets the kill anyway. I don't think anyone can see him, but Guardian's got just that sixth sense for like who is lurking behind that smoke, and will pick up the kill. So that makes it doable now. And they do have one man moving from T-spawn. I think it's actually Zeus. Another tag here from Guardian. He will finally go down, and Flamey and Zeus are in position to try this on. They both have kits.
Time's ticking away though. If you're going to save that all, that might be enough. It looks like it's going to be too much of a tall order here. So yeah, here we go. So it's not quite done yet. Yeah, Flamey gets taken down. Zeus will save his gun here. That pick at the start of the round from Alu, I think that was a nice confidence boost from it there, just to kind of guarantee them, getting them off the mark at least, just so they can like calm down a little bit, have a little bit of a reassessment here, get their economy back on track, and we can see the AWP is coming back out. And yeah, like you said, I think we'll probably will see an A execute here with the Wall of Smokes to Freiburg again, getting that Molotov. And it'll just be a case of them approaching the map in the same way. They'll still hold up and take positions, but they'll work their way up to short and then execute. And it's that last round was so cool to see. After losing that man straight away, they were like, okay, we have to do an aggressive move here. We have to. Yeah, that was so smart. And now Zeus is going back to CT spawn, just going for that timing. And they're out so fast, they just ran down suicide. And that timing was just completely caught NaVi off guard. And it's going to be a trade up in middle. Now things get chaotic. Flamey coming into play there to try to see what he can get done and get the information for his team. But he is going to get taken down by Gfinity. So now things get a little bit crazy for NaVi. They're down to 3 players. They really need to gamble here with somebody. Or just, or Guardian can just go completely insane with this AWP on the site. Very committed position, and NiP are setting up for that split to make it as safe as physically possible. Yeah, the pincer.
Here we go, Guardian does crouch, and excellent cover from Edward, and Guardian will hit the next shot, and we're going to have Edward also taking down Gfinity, so now it's just Freiburg. I can't believe it, NaVi with an amazing defense there. The team play just immaculate.
Such a strong hold there. Like they all were covering each other's angle, watching the clever angles there, and just hitting all the shots. It was just. It looks like NiP are almost being outclassed here.
It really does, yeah. Like, beautiful counter strike from NaVi.
Really, really strong stuff here. You can see Zeus here actually opting for an MP7. What's he got up his sleeve here? Perhaps making his way into the lower B tunnels or something like that, or maybe down holding long doors.
Great stuff from Guardian. And it's interesting because we keep expecting that execute, but the style that NaVi are playing, there's a scrappy play at the start of the round.
Stopping it before it even happens.
Exactly, just changes the situation. And that always is going to put pressure on the caller as well. Just make that really quick call to say, okay, now this is going to be the best play for us to get the advantage back.
Yeah.
And NaVi just are a step ahead.
I think you're absolutely right there. I think that NiP saying at the start of the round, okay, let's just do what we're doing, but hopefully we can go into that A execute as long as we get that map control. And like you said, someone will get a pick or cause some devastation on the map, we'll just force them to do something else. And I think that's what's causing the sloppy takes on the site. Like, it didn't even look like that the guys had much of a challenge when they were walking the site there. They weren't really flash, there was no smokes taking them out, they were kind of just forced to come up, and then NaVi just took complete control.
See, just chilling, just crouched there, not even moving. But yeah, I mean, that's you know, that rounds where NiP took the time to try to split from long and short. If they were a little bit quicker on long, I don't think that it works for NaVi because it was a staggered push.
Yeah.
And as you said, like the pincer didn't. Like the one side of the pincer was a little bit too slow.
Yeah, absolutely. So that was the problem. Like if you've got a pincer, it has to be at the same time.
Got to be
that
perfect.
effectively doesn't work. We can see 3 people for NaVi actually coming down there. Guardian's going to change up his play. I really like this. The fact he's just keeping his play dynamic and keeping surprising NiP. You can see he's got some prey there. Will they make this mistake and walk into his crosshair?
After you said prayer, like thinking I'm watching like a Discovery documentary, David Attenborough or something.
Is. It looks like he's on like a hunting spree right now.
In his natural habitats. We'll have to see how NiP are going to fare though with this. Just a quick entry into mid there, and that's also to like spot for who's standing where. Do NaVi have a timing in mid where they're covering mid? Will this tell us what their setup is to then inform us how to attack?
Yeah.
They saw nothing, so they could probably assume the 2-3 setup. So NiP, I mean, this is when you'd expect them to rely on and execute, but they don't have many grenades left, just 4 smokes actually, so that is enough. But they're all at Catwalk at the moment, so it's really open this round.
I think the fact they've run out of ideas and this picking isn't working, we're going to see it right now.
This gamble from NaVi is ridiculous, having 4 players on A the entire round. What an insane gamble from them. They have some info on NiP for sure, and there goes to drop it. It's straight into spawn to attack Guardian. They know they have to take him down quickly, but not before he gets 2 quick kills with that AWP. Excellent work with that sniper rifle again. Edward, the hidden man, just staying there all round, picks up the frag, but the bomb plant will come into play thanks to Freiburg. Now, does get picked off as he leaves that planting spot. Oh, nice shot there by Alu. Oh, what a second shot as well. So fast on the trigger is Alu. And now he's in a one-on-one against Seuss, who is playing a dangerous game, and that's not going to happen. Alu delivers for NiP and pulls them from the brink right there because they needed that round so desperately.
Technically a round NiP should have lost there just because it was a 3-on-1 situation, and it wasn't so much of a wall of smoke, it was more like a sandbag. That didn't really work. So Alu, obviously fantastic work here and showing why he's been picked up by these guys, and he's a fantastic player and managed to get a 3-on-1 and gets them back into this game. It was a much needed round, as you said.
Oh, Guardian missed an op shot there. That's I wonder what his percentage of hits is.
About 95%.
Yeah, it is pretty good this game. And under pressure as well, this guy is performing. And here again, he's put to the test. They're not deterred by his prowess for the AWP. They're pushing in. They're making the pincer happen with that split. And the long push has gone well. Forrest has actually opened things up nicely, working in with that Galil. There it is. Good. Excellent stuff from Forrest. One more player from crossover. Edward will deal with him. And Alu has to clutch again. 1-on-2. And he deals with the first man. Looking to deliver once again, but he doesn't know exactly where Seized is. Gets the spot. Oh, just barely misses the shot onto Seized. And he won't get a second opportunity. And NiP, with no money, they've been reset. Yep. Where do they go from here? That was really interesting play from Forrest there. Like, he actually did really well to pick up those 2 frags. And the way he was jiggle peeking a long corner there, actually distracting the AWP for long enough. It was a shame they couldn't convert that into a round victory. Now they're in a horrible situation, as you said. The money's been reset. It's a full Glock eco. Like, oh, sorry, you've got 1 PT50 there, but you don't see many of these days. Like, you can tell they're in kind of dire straits now. They kind of said to themselves, well, we really do need full buys here to even have a look in on these rounds. You know how hot they are right now. And it's going to be, if they don't win the next gun round, they're going to be in a very tricky situation. Like, we know NiP are good at getting out of them, but this team looks so hot right now, it's going to be difficult to get out of it. Do you think that's just like the almost full save means that they're actually going to say, we're going to try to buy in the next rounds? Potentially, because they're like, we're so far behind, we need to just string something together? Or do you think they're going to go for that full double eco? To be fair, like, it's gonna. I have to see them when I didn't see the scoreboard, but if the fact you got full Glocks, like, it's kind of the saying it's just a throwaway rounds. I think they're on like 3.5 most of them after this round. So okay, so they should have what, like 4,600 each after this. Let's see. Oh no, I think they will have 3 to 3.5k. Okay, cool. Okay, cool. And then we get. They could force it. What do you want to though? I mean, they're really far behind. I don't know. This is the rut of CS. Yeah. This is the worst possible place you can be in. The horrible, the sewers of CS. Yeah, they're scraping the barrel for guns now. They're finding some leftovers, but yeah, it's going to be the force up, and they have smokes. They can make something happen. An aggressive play from Seized, that might just give them the opportunity. And we're seeing so much pushing from NaVi, and it looks like NiP are coming out on top, so they've actually given themselves a really nice opportunity to get a bomb down here, but Flamey's in. Great flashes, that's going to slow them all down. Buy him some time to get the nades out. Oh, they're lining up for Flamey, he gets both kills, and that is insanely huge for NaVi as they come in on the retake, and the flashes are immaculate, but Exist is going to be able to pick up the kill onto Guardian in the end, and in comes Zeus. Exist is low. Trying to get the wall back. I'm not even sure if that penetration is possible. And Exist is going to be like, hey, Zeus, come on, man.
Much needed round. I'm a bit questionable to why Guardian just ran in there without a teammate with a PT50. Like, they were low, but that was essentially the reason they couldn't even clutch that round. He just ran in backwards with a PT50. But what a play from NiP, converting that little armor / AK buy into something after failing with the AWP so much so far.
Indeed, it's an interesting situation, and it's created a potential for NiP to actually get themselves that 4 rounds mark. Now, we're going to have a push on upper dark from Edwards. He's going to get some key intel, but I think it's it's Forest here, looking for the frag. He will not find it, and now their flank is being compromised for NiP, so they're going to have to be very careful and always be worrying about this flank now, and that pressure is really hard to deal with. Just waiting now, NaVi, seeing what they can find out, because they know that NiP are forced to make or take a bit of a risk, but where is that risk going to come into play? Looks like middle is going to be the call for NiP as they go for that B split. Upper dark gets shut down. Now NiP, they've got to come out with some huge results on the individual plays. Zeus though in the back with the 5-7, able to pick up 1, and it's going to be 2-on-2 now, so good stuff here from Freiburg as well to keep the hope alive in this round. And once again, we've got Guardian and Flamey in this B retake. That bomb ticking away. And upper dark is under control for NiP as well. It's going to take some excellent coordination here, but they don't have any flashes, no smokes to work with. Oh, there's one flash indeed for Guardian, and there it is, over the top. Flamey just trying to work out where they are, checking every nook and cranny, but in they have to go. Oh, the first shot whiffed by Guardian. Freiburg takes down Flamey. It's all on the AWP. Guardian misses the second shot, and that's not going to be good enough. NiP pick up round number 4. And that's still a tough scoreline to deal with.
I think the 4 is very important though. Like, the difference between 3 and 4 is pretty huge. If you consider they lose the pistol round here, like, it's pretty much over. But the fact they have 4, like, it gives them that extra bit of breathing room, and there's a chance here they build up momentum, they can get back into it. So I really don't think you should count NiP out of this yet. Like, the team you will see now, they will find a way.
It's NiP, right?
To squeeze it out. Yeah, it always happens, and you never think it will, but it always does.
I never bet against them for that reason. I always get burnt if I do. And we are going to see full kit apart from Freiburg. He's got the kit and the HE, so that means that NiP want to fight. They want these long-range angels, which makes sense with the USPs. But NaVi all bulked together at the moment towards short, so they are really threatening a very strong rush all together, just throwing in all the bodies at once for those trades. Still sitting on catwalk at the moment. Seeing if NiP will throw anyone else towards them. Now they have a smoke and a flash on Guardian. And in goes the drop there. Oh, nice pick off there from Forest. It's going to make life a little bit easier, especially as Getright's quite low. So he's now going to spot into the A bomb site, looking for something. As Getright, there he goes, he spots Zeus. So still, NiP they don't know just yet exactly what's going on. They are going to push a man into CT, and that is Getright for the spot, and there is the smoke, so now they have a very good idea what's happening, and in come the frags. Forest picks up another one. Getright through the smoke on the flank, able to get some good damage towards Edward, but Exist will get the finish, and things are looking excellent here for the Swedes, as it's just Guardian remaining now with that Glock. And you can't expect all that much in this position, and indeed, NiP will pick up the pistol, and they will be very relieved. Yeah, that opening frag from Forest was phenomenal. I really like that play he has when he just goes, tapping the USP, makes it look like an M4 at times. Yeah, so NaVi tried to execute pretty much a mirror tactic what NiP did as well. Get some map control, work at what's going on, smoke off CT spawn and head out to B. Unfortunately, NiP are too strong on the pistols there, and that's exactly what they needed. Obviously, they need to get every single round here. They don't want to give anything away. They want to build up some momentum and get themselves back into it round by round. And here we go. We can see NaVi actually went for a full Glock here. No nades, no armor at all. And Ali's actually on the mag. You don't see that so commonly, but it's specially designed for this position or close to the barrels on long. Those are the two spots where it's really good. And here we go. There's the jumps, and he gets nothing. Very anticlimactic with the mag 7. And they should get a bomb down here actually, which is a really brilliant result considering there's zero investment for NaVi into this one. So NiP, gotta be careful not to actually die with too many players. Just Freiburg down at the moment, and Ali will finally pick up one with the mag 7. So there it is. They only lose Freiburg, but the bomb went down, and that's mission accomplished for NaVi.
Absolutely. So they will be able to buy AKs this round, considering they bought absolutely nothing. The smart thing from NiP is that they've actually got rifles in their arsenal. So they had the one mag 7, which I believe you can probably get rid of now since Freiburg went down. But they'll be aware of this, and they'll be buying up full rifles here just to counter it, surely. Well, actually, Freiburg will be keeping this WAG 7. Has to make it work somewhere. Yeah, we didn't see it do much work against the Glocks. What can you do with it? It's pretty rough on this map. It's one of those. It's not like Nuke where you can kind of always use it, like around the vents and the hut, and then down the ladder and stuff. It's only good in like a couple spots really. So we're gonna have a fast long take coming in from NaVi, and so far it's gonna be Get-Right. He's gonna be getting a nice defensive kill. There's number 2 as well, and that gets Freiburg close with the mag 7 in position and smoking it off. Great control here. They are going to double smoke it, but that's fine. There's only one player left, thanks to Alu now taking down C's. So they know where Guardian is, and this round has been won by NiP. It's just about damage control now and making sure that Guardian can't get too many frags. Yeah, so we saw NaVi getting a decent long spawn there. Using that nice door flash we see using quite a lot these days, but Get-Right taking the smoke to his advantage, standing up on that corridor there, and managed to pick up 3 frags with the FAMAS. And Guardian, although he looks like he might get a look into this, it's going to be with 33 HP and an AK against 3 NiP players. It's going to be very difficult to even get a bomb down. Yeah, it's nice. It's nice work from Guardian so far. Like that damage is so crucial against the CTs, especially if we consider the fact that NiP had this situation where that kind of bomb went down on the save, and they kind of had like a. It wasn't like with NaVi where on their CT side they're like, okay, they got the bomb down the pistol, we have to buy rifles up. So they kind of had like a mix of buys, and they had to like force out a couple FAMASs. So their money's going to be a little bit low now, thanks to Guardian. Well, now we can see that this is starting to get interesting now. If you look at the scoreline, like we said, NiP will claw back into this. They are never out of the game. So you can see they've got the full buy. They'll probably stick to 1 up for now until they start losing a couple of rounds. That's when we see Forest normally pick 1 up and take that into B. That's when I feel that they're most effective, when they have the dual orb set up. I feel like the riflers can control middle and have a lot more presence on the map in other areas. So they can have presence on short, presence on middle. And so I'm sure we'll see that at some point in this game. Oh, and already Forest picking off 1. And it's a very light round again for NaVi. They don't seem to really invest much if you compare them to some teams who tend to always throw something into these rounds. Sure. So that's it's actually kind of nice to see, because you were saying before, with NaVi we're going to see, and you know, NaVi versus NiP, you see more classic CS. Sure. Which is cool, because I don't know, we get more rounds which are like more tense. Yeah, absolutely. It comes down to like the big one-on-ones, and there's not crazy guns being used all the time. Like it feels like a proper game of CS when you cast these guys. It's really good to watch. Ooh, Guardian. You can just see him just tracking there. Very deadly, but doesn't connect this time. So the good old 2-3 setup coming in from NiP. Some really, really standard, very defensive stuff. You give up short control though, but that's okay. You rely on your AWP on crossover. That's kind of the key for a setup like this. And it's going to be Get-Right going down towards CT spawn, I think, just to make sure that he can spot that smoke and provide a crossfire with Forest on B. Slow round is ever the fashion of NaVi, as they have taken Catwalk now, and it is again for free, but what do they do with it? Do they execute onto A? Do they go for the cat drop towards B? They need info to decide, but NiP have not really given them any info. They're going to have to work for it. This is just classic NaVi, isn't it? They're a very slow approach. They never commit to anything too soon. They always like to fill out every single available option to them. That's a nice pop flash there, I think, from Get-Right. I've not seen that one before. Very, very obvious one, but still. And
NaVi, they've got 2 Molotovs and 3 smokes left. So I think we're seeing some of the smokes come in now. So they're going to throw them in towards CT. Now, are they actually going to commit to that? It looks like they still want to go towards A, actually. Getrai's going to go past the smoke and be like, where the hell are these guys from NaVi? And they're going to slowly realize that everything's on Alu right now. He's got to hit every single shot because he just doesn't have the teammates there to stop this bomb from going down. Misses the second one. Can Alu do any more damage? He won't. Flamey gets the trade. Oh, Getrai with the jumping M4. Can he stop that bomb from going down? He can't. So NaVi, 3 versus 4 in an afterplant, and NiP are at their heels. Getrai just tapping away. He can't seem to find a frag just yet, though. However, Exist will, and they are getting really low. Down to Edward now with no health to work with, but he's going to get to pick up a couple kills here. It's just one more, but Forest will win the duel, and he's going to get the defuse. That was really scary.
That was that tense moment we've been talking about. This is what's so good about this. So for me, NaVi kind of forced himself in a really difficult situation there. We saw them had like, I think it was 8 seconds left on the clock when they finally got the bomb down. You saw them going for the short plant. Getrai was doing a really smart play there, actually, just scaring him so much that actually, I'm going to take this bomb off you. So he had to get off, take the bomb around. It was really hectic, and then came down to 1-on-1 in the end. Great work from Edward with the AWP, but I think that was a really nice play from NiP. They got some great information and forced the T to do something they didn't want to.
Absolutely. Whenever you delay that plant from going down, it's like you buy those few seconds that just make this immeasurable difference. So you can never...
It's chaos on the bomb site.
Oh, yeah.
It was really cool.
It's ridiculous.
Here we go, the dual AWP setup I was mentioning before. Once Forest goes down, he normally picks it up, and I think this is when they're at their absolute strongest. Yeah, you're absolutely right. This is what they're always working towards. And Forest is such a good defensive AWPer. He really is. He's just good at everything in Counter-Strike, basically. Yes,
but
one of those guys.
But we'll have to see what NaVi go for this time. Again, when you have the cat control on this map, I mean, it depends on... You want to try to find the info of where what the CT setup is to understand, is a cat drop going to be into the B split better, or is the A play better? And if there's like 2 players on long, the B play is really good because there's the rotation so far. But you've got to get that information first.
Yes.
And they're going to spot into middle now. Now the bomb is dropped on catwalk still. Oh my goodness, Ali is playing with fire. They're pre-firing his position. Normally you'd expect the AWPer to be a bit further forward, but he's predicting that pre-fire to come in. He's managed to evade that. So good stuff there from Ali.
Does he know the terrorist made it past?
Oh, Freiberg's in trouble. He just saw 2 players. This is very indicative of that A play. And again, we're seeing the rotation coming in from NiP. And indeed, the bomb is to follow up catwalk in towards that A push. Flamey's up close towards crossover now. It's chaos once again, but it's looking great for NiP at the moment as they look towards this strong defense. But in comes Flamey to ruin their day. If he can get a quick kill here, he might be able to just swing things in the favor of NaVi, but it won't happen. The time is just not on their side, and NiP clean up the round. And that is ever the danger of NaVi.
Yeah, well, that was a really weird setup from NiP, I think. Like, the fact they had an AWPer and CT spawn kind of like watching that smoke, like, for me, like, if they're going to have the dual AWP setup, traditionally, you take the 1 AWP on A, 1 AWP on B, and you have the rifles in middle, kind of playing against that meta of everyone's walking out middle at the moment and smoking up to B. So like, it was kind of a weird setup. The fact that Ale was there alone, kind of battling in CT spawn, but they made it work, and they made pretty much mincemeat of NaVi now, and it's going to force them onto, I'm going to say, yeah, you can see they bought Tech9s there. Then this is going to potentially bring it up to 11-11, and this is the first time that it's actually looking pretty dangerous for NaVi now.
So yeah, I mean, it's going to be quite interesting because you point out the double AWP setup, and it is so strong for NiP. When they get to this, it's their bread and butter, and of course that's generally the struggle with maps like this. With Inferno, it's the struggle to get have the rifles and all the grenades, all the smokes and incendiaries. On Dust 2, the kind of the highest level buy you can have is the double AWP setup. It's the most expensive. It's where the teams can be the most dominant, string the most rounds together when their AWPers are already on. And I think there's a lot of ways to deal with it. I think again these like the 2 most dangerous plays are like that walkout middle thing is really scary because if you're able to walk out far enough and then just plant the smoke immediately, so you've got an untelegraphed B split, that's super scary. And likewise, getting the wall of smokes where you get the 2 smokes on the site and then the 1 on the crossover, so the AWPer can't do anything. That's super scary as well. You have to have a guy on Goose to stop the plant, or you're screwed. So
well, that's the idea. Like with the dual AWP setup, you have that freedom. You can boost AWPers up onto short. You can go and face it long. As long as you keep an AWPer in B, that's your anchor. That's the position you know is going to be a safe bet. The other one's going to be like boosting up and looking into lower B, looking for those long doors, and that's how you kind of counter those set pieces that people try to employ against you. So I wouldn't be surprised here at all if we saw Alu getting boosted up onto short now, or even just going down with the long guys for a pick. But we have got a pause here, guys. I assume it's going to be a tactical timeout. Well, yes, here we go. So going straight back into it. A tactical timeout from NaVi. We've seen this a lot this tournament. I think it's a really good idea from these teams to actually consider what the reason they're losing so many rounds, and actually just take 2 minutes to discuss it and work out what the problem is and how they can break down the defenses of their team they're playing against.
And it's not the NBA, so they can't just time out every single second. So I mean, they get 1 per match, I believe. So that's really cool. I completely agree. And it's like they've got some nades, but as you predicted it, Henry G, just in sync with NiP right now.
This is why I'm here. I'm just one of those guys who just know CS.
Got like a direct line straight into the brain of Exist. It's making the calls, and well, it's going to work out quite well so far. They're going to get all the shots they need. They got the strong defense on Catwalk, and it's a bit explosive there, and it's soon to be over. Just Guardian left over with the 28 HP, and he should soon get fall as well. Going to try to get some extra damage done, but. Yeah, it feels like NaVi are in that spot that NiP were, where NiP were, they were starting to wonder, like, how do we beat the defense of NaVi? Like, Guardian is like just indestructible on A and all this kind of stuff, but they found a way. Now NaVi are in the same position. What do they do?
Well, this is the thing. When you get in that position, you'd actually, like NiP are aware. When you take that pause, you're kind of telegraphing, like, oh, we're going to do something different here, try and work out how we're going to break you down. And that's why NiP did that boost and changed it up a little bit and got that first pick. And they're like, oh, God, guys, they've changed what they've done again. How do we even counter this? And that's fantastic work from NiP. Like, they used that tactical pause NaVi employed for themselves and actually managed to come up with a better strategy. We do see another full buy coming from NaVi here. Guardian has got the AWP, and it looks like they're going to slow things right down now.
And they've actually gone to a similar setup. However, there's 2 players towards long, but NaVi, they're super far back right now. They haven't taken Dark, they haven't taken Catwalk. NiP could be in both places and have all the information. They're making a massive gamble here on NaVi. They've got to be successful with this long take. It has to work out. They have to get the frags for all they've given up. And Alu is actually in trouble right now, so they're doing quite well so far. They've actually smoked off it quite well, and they've taken long, and now they're falling back. They've got 50 seconds left to play with. And Exist hasn't pushed in. The problem is they really don't know if there's someone in Dark or Catwalk. They just cannot know this just yet. But they are kind of committed towards the long play at this point with such little time left and long already in control. But let's see what they go with. They can still go through middle and just go for the Hail Mary, but the shock and awe plays. But they are going to go up Catwalk as expected. And it's just going to be GetRight, who's by the car at the moment, who's going to have a shot on them in the immediate future. So what is he going to be able to pick up? It's not Ali with an AWP, but he is still going to get a frag out of it, which is as much as you'd expect in that position. And NaVi in with a pretty solid chance to take this round. With that bomb getting planted now. 2 AWPers left here. Alu and, well, just Alu now. And he is in a very poor position. So great work there from NaVi. Very unorthodox play.
Yeah, well, what they did was interesting there. Like, they did a long take. It looked like a normal long take, but what was good about that is when they did those 2 smokes on the corner of long A, they actually isolated the whole position. So the guy in the pit was essentially a dead man before they even begun it. So he gets no backup from Alu. Alu's locked out of the round, and the man in the pit there just had no chance whatsoever. He got 4 NaVi players coming out, and that was just a great way of getting that map control and pushing the CTs back. And then we saw GetRight isolated in that position on car, and that is a completely one-and-done position when you've got an M4. And yeah, that was really good, methodical play from NaVi. Really well thought out. They saw what the NiP were doing, and they managed to convert it into a round. And now they take the lead once again, and it looked like they actually have the advantage here, as NiP only have the 1 AWP again.
Yeah, it's really cool to see such mix-ups like that from NaVi. They found an answer. Actually, NiP are playing exactly the same way as they did in a lot of the rounds so far. So NaVi, if they overthink it, they might be screwing themselves over. As NiP are like, wait, we're just going to stick with the standard stuff for now, and we're going to let you potentially outplay yourselves. But this looks like the Wall of Smokes execute potentially from C's. At least he was looking at throwing one of those smokes. Now we'll have to see what actually happens here as far as all the grenades go. So we're going to get the smoke into spawn. So they just want to delay the rotation with that smoke. Yeah. And indeed, we'll have to see again, Alu. If he gets smoked off here, he's in trouble. Now there is the smoke for him. He's going to be up on the car, so he's pretty exposed, and he's going to fall back, play for the retake perhaps here with his team. Now it's going to be C's who's actually cutting off a lot of players, just dropping down into CT. Oh, he's just getting a really nice headshot there onto Zeus through the smoke as the bomb goes down. And once again, NaVi, they look like they've cracked the defense of NiP, and they've really figured it out at the moment. As NiP, they've got to go to something different here. NaVi taking the lead, 13-11.
Yeah, I think NiP need to go back to the more dynamic play. It looks like they have got a lot of money there. They will be able to get the ore back out. I think they need to go for that initial pick again. Just stop this momentum. They've won 2 rounds in a row now, NaVi. Need to slow it down a little bit. It'll be interesting to see where Alu actually goes with this ore this time. Will he stick to A, or will he actually try and mix it up a little bit?
The really cool thing is the way that if they have watched those NiP demos and like, oh, get right at this timing always goes to CT spawn.
Yeah.
When they throw that smoke, they push get right past that smoke, and you know, because he's thinking of defending the B play, that never comes, and now they've got 2 players on A.
Yeah, they seem to do that quite a lot. They throw that mid to B smoke just to kind of keep them
right.
thinking. Yeah, like they seem to do it almost every round. I haven't actually seen them actually go out with it yet.
Same setup from NiP as well.
Yeah.
Should they be mixing it up here? I mean,
I think so. I think they need to be going for the initial frag at least. Possibly playing on short. We've seen the NaVi coming up short almost every round here. I'd say you probably want to start showing some presence on there and kind of making them go into other decisions. So look at this. Like they can just get up short every time and say, okay, they're running the same setup again. Let's get the smokes down. Let's go on as a team. Flash over. We'll know Alu will have to fall back. And if they lose this round, NiP that is, they're going to be in a very difficult situation economy-wise. So they need to be very careful and not let the same thing happen again.
And we have to stress how important it is for NiP to take at least 1 map here. If NaVi 2-0 them, then NiP aren't going to be able to have enough points. It's going to be Fnatic and NaVi going through. So they need to get that 1 map to secure it. And I'm sure they'd like to get the stress over with on this map. So here we go. We're going to get some flashes in. Get right this time playing very close to the doors, adapting to the situation. Wow, Edward's going to just drop down straight into the lower dark area. But here is the AWP from Alu, which does do some good damage, but it's still going to be pretty rough here for NaVi. Guardian doesn't make the full connection there. Just a leg shot. Oh no, misses the second shot. And there you go. Freiburg Forest coming into play, able to get the retake going. And it's a pretty nice cleanup. 4 players surviving as well. Very important in this late stage of the round where we are getting back and forth results.
Just what they needed there. Like I said before, had they have lost that round, it could have been the map over. Great play by the NiP there. Actually, you saw Get Right pushing through mid doors there, catching a player, completely surprising though. He had his back to him. That's exactly what you want when you want a nice free kill. But it's going to be another full buy here from NaVi. And this round could be one of the most important that we've seen so far. Like, it's such a close, it's on a knife edge, back and forth. And the economy is very fragile on either side.
And I think we've got a bit of a mix-up here. Get Right's actually... Oh, sorry, it's Alu's moved his AWP towards Catwalk now. This
is what they needed to do. So we're talking about this dynamic play, keeping the T's guessing. They've gone up short almost every time, and he'll be able to get this 1 frag here and shut down their execution. As we say that, he actually gets flash and drops off. But that was the right play, in my opinion. Get that presence on there and just rattle their confidence a little bit.
So right now it kind of looks like NaVi want that B split play. They've got a man, Zeus, up on Catwalk, just making a bit of noise. But actually, that said, they are going to leave up a dock, so just providing that presence, it can be difficult to read their intentions. They're going to try to get this entry up middle. With 50 seconds left and it being NaVi, again, just trying to find out the info. And they're going to confirm that it's that 2-3 setup by seeing nobody in spawn. Oh my goodness, what a shot there from Guardian, taking down Get Right, and they are going to go straight for that A split now. They were positioned for it, Guardian delivered, and now it's just down to the team play, the coordination to come in to make this work. But they are running out of time. They can't be dilly-dallying at the moment. There's 25 seconds left, and they are yet to go in for the push. Here we go, though. It's Freiburg on the defense on long. Oh no, NiP, they have to rely on Alu now. With the flick shots, only gets 1. Flamey wrapping around from crossover. Forest, there's so much work to do. Gonna see 1 over the top, and well, the bomber's gonna go down, and the 2 players along don't even have to cross. This is a really rough situation right now for NiP. Exist is gonna make his way up and try to bank on a bit of a miracle here, but NaVi are not peeking them just yet. As Exist looking for the heads. Wow, Forest with the jump shot though, able to take down Seized, and that's gonna make life a little bit easier, but still, it's tough, and it's all on him now as his comrade has now fallen. And he can't do anything from CT here. And NiP looks like they are going to lose this round, Henry.
What I love about NaVi is like the bomb always goes down about 8 seconds. Like they literally check every part of the map, and you saw them like they realized that they kind of had a look around everywhere. They cleared out B tunnels, cleared out short, had a look along, and then they made their way out mid. And then the Guardian was just so patient there, looking at that angle. He just said, "Guys, I think I can get a kill here. Just wait, just hold on for it." Took down Get Right, and it's completely opened the map for them. Made their way back up to short, and then the frags just came to them naturally there. And it's going to force NiP into a very tricky situation. You can see actually Freiburg's actually been forced onto a 5-7.
I like how he has the banana 5-7, the monkey business.
He's the king of banana.
Yeah, man. He wants all the bananas. Okay, so we're gonna have to see if they can make it work with this really awful buy. They don't have nades, let alone the full weaponry that they want, so it's hard to play the delay. We need some early kills from them to get this advantage. Get right might be pop flashing Forest there, but Forest is going to spot just the pick there. And indeed, there comes the pop flash. Forest wanting to go for it, but he's playing it very cautiously, and he has to back away. Guardian picks off his mates. Get right. So he's just got to hold the line at the moment in middle. He cannot get taken out, and he is going to slowly hear all the footsteps towards Catwalk. Ali's going to replace him as he goes down to Guardian. Guardian's been on such a tear in this map, and it's just Ali and Exist left now. And this was their force up. So Exist and Alu looks like they want to keep these weapons alive. You better believe NaVi are going to hunt them down though.
Oh yeah, you better believe it. Like if they can get them onto map point and they know there's 2 of them alive, that's going to potentially stop them from winning the map next round. They're going to be hunting for them. Like as soon as they know the bomb's going off, like here we go, Edward's on the hunt. He can smell them.
Sorry.
I'm just saying he can smell them. There wasn't anything like an insight or anything like that. That was all I had.
I was going to say, like, it's really interesting how a lot of these rounds have come down to NaVi actually exploiting the way Get Right plays in these setups. Because Get Right's the guy that moves, and then so many times they've abused him by either forcing him to move into a more favorable situation for an A take where there's just 2 left, or a situation where like Guardian, they move him up into a position where he's just sitting there waiting for Get Right to actually go to the time. So, it's 1:15 this time. I'm gonna like do a little bit more of a delayed rotation. I'm gonna start rotating. Boom, Guardian's there with the shot.
Get Right has been the first man to fall for the last 2 rounds, and he's been the reason that NaVi being able to find their picks on the map, and it's been very instrumental to NaVi winning those last 2 rounds.
It's really beautiful when they are able to exploit something so simply.
Almost orchestrating it, like making
Get
Right push back into those positions he doesn't want to be in, and then just know exactly where he is.
It's beautiful. I'm such a nerd. That's the stuff that I love.
Yeah.
I appreciate these nerdy things. Great stuff there from NaVi, but we're going to have to see if NiP can make this work. They have scrapped together a buy. They do have the pistols, and we know how deadly they are with those. Now, Alu's still on an AWP as well, and this is looking like a scary B push. They know that their weaponry is not quite there for NiP, and you can see Forrest is kind of expecting to be able to like just throw smoke to delay the push from middle if it arrives, but it's really this angle that's the problem. Exist needs to come in huge, will make the first defensive kill. In goes the incendiary. Oh, he can't get anything more. Flamey with 2 massive entries back to back, and now NiP have so much work to do on the retake. How on earth are they going to pull this one off? Just Alu with a weapon of any substance with that AWP, and even still, that is a hard weapon to retake a bomb site with, and all the smokes are there in play, the Molotovs as well. So here comes Alu though, and I'm sure NaVi are expecting the kind of angles he's going to play with, but they're going to go straight in on NiP, and it's going to be Get Right in. Look at Hero, gets 2 quick kills there, excellent stuff from him. Now it's just on Alu in a 1-on-2. Could happen here with that 5-7, looking for the quick kill. Alu gets it onto Zeus. No, it's just one more, but Edward, he will deliver. 16-12 will be the final score as NaVi pull off the victory on map 1, and NiP now, they must do it to qualify for the playoffs. They must on map 2 Inferno.
Well, to be fair, from a spectator's point of view, this is exactly what we wanted. Because if NiP had won that first map and we went into the second one, it would kind of be a false game. Because
why are we here, guys? Why
yeah,
are we here?
Exactly. So, from a spectator's point of view, I'm really glad that's happened. Just we have a really exploding, exciting second map that's actually going to mean something, and it's the last one of the day, and it's really cool that no one's going to disconnect and think, oh, it's a pointless game. So that's really cool to see. From that game, what can we take from that? Like NaVi, for me, like they had a really, really good T half, and the CT for them. When NiP got to CT, sorry, they did kind of pull it back, and they kind of got it to a level pace, and there was around 12-12 we got to then, and then it was just going round for round, and then it closed out so nicely, and I think it was just a really, really good display of skill, especially from Guardian. I think he was absolutely phenomenal that game. And also outthinking as well, because NaVi, as you pointed out, they abused the way Get Right was playing the setup, and NiP kind of refused to, because we saw the timeout too, and we were expecting, maybe NiP going to try to like preempt it and say, oh, we're going to like mix it up now because we're expecting them to counter what we're doing. But actually, they just played the same setup round after round. Yeah. But guys, it is time for a very short break, so please stay with us here for the Gfinity Masters. We'll play map 2 out very shortly. We'll see you after the break.
I'm on it.
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 Welcome back to Gfinity Masters, guys. I'm DDK here with Henry G.
Or Junior DDK.
I don't know if that's going to catch on, man.
Please don't make that a thing. Everyone at home, do not make Junior DDK a
Okay,
thing.
guys, you got to think of something better than that, because I'm actually older than this guy. Actually, only by a few months, but
yeah, that means it works. So you're backing it up.
Oh God.
What are you doing?
That's true. That's true. What am I doing? I don't know.
This guy. Nice work. Anyway, please continue.
I should be stupid DDK.
Yeah.
But I'm the original DDK, so it doesn't work. Anyway, guys, of course, we just saw NiP lose a really thrilling game on Dust 2 against NaVi, and that means that we'll actually have Titan versus Fnatic now, because the seed is now set that Fnatic are going to be top of the group. Because if NaVi had actually won, sorry, if NaVi win 2-0, I think they're... Anyway, it's Titan Fnatic. Obviously, my math is very bad.
Yourself?
I don't know how old I am compared to you.
You're senior DDK.
I should be senior. I should have Alzheimer's very soon, I think. If not already.
I think you already have.
I think I'm getting there, guys. So what are your expectations going into Inferno? Because we just saw a very, very cerebral game of Counter-Strike, especially from NaVi. They really abused NiP in that sense. Great executional skills from both teams. What are we to expect on Inferno?
I think it's going to be a lot more of the same. Like it's going to be an interesting one. We've seen NiP play Inferno so many times. We casted it actually when they played against Liquid. Yep. It's difficult to gauge how they're going to approach it from that game, because obviously there was just so little respect for Liquid given that game. Do you remember like when they were we saw like the guys just pushing Banana pretty much every single round, although that's quite standard. It's the way they were doing it in so blasé fashion and like standing in very open angles. But it's a very standard way to play Inferno for NiP, and I think, to be honest, I think NaVi are going to introduce that very same mentality as well. I don't think we'll see as much AWP action as we did last game. I think it's going to be more a case of situational stuff, like when they can see an exploit there on the T side and they can actually find an angle walking up middle. But these teams are so textbook CS players will just be seeing the terrorist sides walking up middle, pushing the counter-terrorists back, smoking off key choke points, and then just going for the frags. That's their mentality they employ here. Like, we may see a couple of Banana executes, but ultimately it's just going to be textbook wolf packing, fragging, and executing properly, and like playing CS the way it should be played.
I'm really looking forward to it, because you always have so many dynamics going on here. So it's what I think maybe the classic map that you see NiP on. Like the way that they play this map hasn't really changed almost ever. I mean, the only addition really is really Ali, but he just swapped position with Fiflara, and obviously Michael Elliott. They all played the same kind of arch role. They did experiment for a while. I think at the last major they tried Forest there at Banana, and it just didn't work, obviously, because you just take. I mean, they wanted to keep it fresh. I asked them why they did that, and they're like, "Well, we just wanted to try something and just keep it fresh," because again, they played it for so long in the same way.
If you do the same thing for so long, people are going to start countering specific play styles and how that specific person plays the bomb site, moving someone else over there. It might be something fresh, but it might not be as good as well. So,
exactly.
So I think that's why they probably went back to how it was. But it looks like NiP will actually be starting on the CT side of Inferno, obviously the preferred side, and it's definitely where they want to be if they want to take this map. Please remember that anyone who's just tuned in, the winner of this map will be going through to the semi-finals tomorrow. I can't stress that enough. It's just this map. NaVi won the first map, and now NiP need this to go through.
Okay, so we're into the pistol now between NiP and NaVi here at Gfinity Masters. And indeed a very crucial match, and Getright just spotting for some information. He's going to get that, and there's the flash over. He can't get anything safely from it, and he's playing dangerous game here, but the next flash comes in, he gets a free kill, and he's going to fall back on top of that and just keep things relaxed. So great control from NiP so far.
The fact they had 2 flashbangs there, like you thought you kind of just got the information and fell back, and you actually managed to utilize the second one and get a frag there.
They're going to keep challenging as well, and it's really hard in Navi's shoes right now, because they haven't gained any real map control. I mean, they do have Banana, but in a pistol round like this, you kind of need to get deeper in, and now we're going to see that. Moving into the pole position is seized, and that's surely going to cause a rotate. We actually have Ali, who's over by Speedway. Here he is, and they've got great crossfires here with Getright, and we're going to see Guardian looking backwards and forwards. Getright has to connect the shots now. They have made a great movement onto the bomb site. Getright does only get a single kill, so NaVi have actually entered the bomb site excellently, and they're going to get the plant down with a man advantage, albeit with a very weak Edwards. But this is the danger. This guy, Forest, just tapping away long distance. It's going to be Guardian that wins the battle of the taps. And now it's just on Exist, that bomb ticking away. He does have a kit, but no nades, 3 players, Heat and Potty set up, a guy over towards the pool position. What are you going to do here? Just flailing around with that USP is not going to work out. NaVi will take the pistol.
Yeah, so we saw the Get Ryan Freiberg combo there, flashing out, looking for intel, managed to pick up a frag there, but they ultimately left themselves with nothing to defend the bomb site with. They gave themselves away, gave away their utility and forced themselves back onto the bomb site. And NaVi just waited, bit their time, and then just went in together, managed to pick up the initial frags there, and then just completely swarmed the bomb site. An almost impossible retake there from an NiP, especially when you had no grenades in hand. And we can see that NaVi have actually opted for a full rifle setup here, and I think that's perfect on Inferno. It's such a long-range map if you're playing the anti-ecos properly. The way you should approach this is holding all the key areas. You're holding the bottom and middle, you're holding house, you're holding banana, and you're just working it as a team, frag for frag. The CTs are going to be lurking around in all the cubby holes. You seem to make sure as soon as someone goes down, your teammate's right there with him to get that frag back.
All right, and they haven't gone for the pistol armor because they know how important the economy is. They know how important those nades are, which is really smart for NiP. Just with some pistols, and already we're going to see some action happening over by the A bomb site. Great work for the stack here from NiP. It is panning out with some good damage, but really nice recovery from NaVi there. Didn't get too bad for them. They did pull it back together, and Freiberg would really love to get a look in here with that pistol, but he will not get that. And NaVi clean up pretty effectively.
That was what I was talking about with the frag for frag sort of mentality. Although like they lost the initial one, the teammates were there. There was no baiting at all involved. They made sure they got the frags out, got out together, and made the plethora of frags onto the bomb site there. And that was a really nice anti-eco. Didn't give too much away. I think they got one death there, but the fact is NiP are on a full eco now, so this should be 3-0 in favour of NaVi. And when they have the map advantage and on the terrorist side of Inferno, getting 3-0 up is absolutely huge. Like it's a really good. Anything else from now on is bonus points really. Like you've got yourself a pretty reasonable scoreline there already.
Yeah, I love the stacking idea as well. Like they know they're not gonna win the round, or they're reserved to the fact that they're likely not gonna win it. So stack, you can get the exits. You just play for damage. It's a really effective way to play for damage, to be honest. Although C's thinks otherwise.
Yeah, he's got no time for that. This is the classic NiP eco, isn't it? Like you send two guys out, and like you kind of signaling out that that was all that was there. But I think everyone knows NiP does that. I think NaVi are definitely not going to catch on to it. You can see C's, he's just waiting there he wants a couple of frags of his own, adding to his current total of 2. So they know his site's clear. They're just taking it really methodically here, making sure there's no CTs hiding on the bomb site, and they'll plant the bomb pretty much in the next 5 seconds. And that's going to be, NiP don't really have anything to save here. They probably will just be looking for a couple of exit frags, trying to take some AKs down with them.
So here we go. C's is in there. He's going to spot his victims. Can he get himself the ace? And there it is. Will he get himself the eco ace? It's funny because you don't see as much of those as you used to in the old 1.6 days.
Yeah, absolutely right. Well, here we go then. This is where the game really begins.
Absolutely.
It's 3-0 currently to NaVi on the T side of Inferno. We've got NiP. They've got a full buy here. No head armor, but not necessarily so important you're playing against AKs.
And we have the incendiaries because they didn't get that armor with the pistol, so now they can get the incendiaries. So very nice by them. And here we go. We're going to get some good nades over from NaVi just to deny some early map control. Ooh, Freiberg going to try it against Guardian. That's not a great idea. It's going to lose out on that duel. Although that said, Freiberg was very good at those angles typically, but Guardian is another beast entirely. And now get right. You never see his position. It's so risky to be here, and that's exactly why the trade comes in. And again, it's this bait play. And wow, Alu's going to catch C's just launching that grenade and getting himself a 3-kill. Had Alu not been there, that's a really big problem for NiP, but he's there to save the day. But still, 3-on-3. It's going to be tough here. Forrest looking for some info, scanning these angles, rounding the corner. It's going to spot the back of one player, and just as exist peaks. Perfect timing. I don't think it could have been any better. Edward comes in though, opens up the site, but he is alone at the moment. The bomb is down. 40 seconds left to play with. So that is a world of time for a NaVi player. There's the duel coming in, and it's going to be Exist that wins it. So good job there by NiP to hold on despite losing Freiberg early on.
Looks a bit ropey at the beginning there. Like obviously the CTs always do smoke off the T-steps area, but they have to be aware that the Ts can boost over that quite easily, and they technically do have the advantage. You can't really see them at all. Freiberg did this run out. I know what he's trying to do and gave that banana control, but essentially gave his frag away and left Get Right in a pretty tricky situation. It was just like you said, it was incredibly lucky that Alu made that call to get over there and got that surprise frag back on him. I think that was the deciding factor on that round.
Oh yeah, you're absolutely right. And NaVi this time, they're not going to give up Banana for free, pushing straight on past that incendiary, and Getright's in this position again. And this time he doesn't have value behind him, but it doesn't matter. Double kill from him. Great stuff there from Getright. He was being abused on the Dust 2 and the latter stages on the CT side, and now he is going to answer back with a vengeance and has locked down Banana. What did NaVi do from here?
Well, after losing those first 2 frags, and like, it's still a 3-on-4 situation, so they're not out of the round yet. They're going to wait for those smokes to dwindle away and to see what Guardian can do with the AWP. Then they're going to have to go around as a little wolf pack and see what's available on the map. They can see Getright at the top there. Potentially, he's going to fall back into the site once that smoke disappears. He loses his advantage as soon as that goes down. But yeah, I can see another one going down there. That's really, really strong from NiP. Like, that's going to bring the timer down to about 32 seconds there, and it's going to be a really tough position for them to actually get the bomb planted at this stage.
Would be really strong for them to just flash over in right now. If they get a fast pick on Getright, he's really far forward at the moment. He's looking for more kills here. The smoke's going to go away, and he's just facing completely openly. And now they're just going to go and pedal to the metal and just swing straight on into that B bomb site for the plant. But NiP actually very fast as well. Exist getting flashed through the smoke here. Oh, great angling on the reticle there as he does get flashed in, and it's going to be Alu straight through construction. NiP put the Nikes on. They're super fast in, but it's a 2-on-2 as Forest is now working away, just tapping away. But it's going to be Guardian and Edward that pick up the round.
What was Getright playing at?
I don't know. I mean, usually in that position, when the smoke's starting to go away, you see them maybe go to car, but just to get the info to fall back and then call the rotation.
I'm sorry, that was all Getright. They've got the man advantage. He's there by himself. Like the idea of that smoke is just to delay the tease. Like once you've lost that advantage, you need to get back into the bomb site. You're just there for you're the information man. You need to call for your team that the terrorists are coming in, wait for the rotate, and then attack together. He gave his frag away, and he literally gifted that round to NaVi right then. I know he's one of the best players in the world right then, but that was a huge mistake from them.
Well, Freiberg is trying to make up for that.
Oh, there we go.
The one Deagle. He's pretty famous for his Deagle antics, but I completely agree with you. Falling back after getting the info, and you still have the advantage.
Yeah.
So it's a crazy play to make. You would not normally see him make that kind of a play, I think, but after that double kill, he's just feeling himself perhaps in that situation. But now it's dangerous because NaVi have got a good bit of money behind them. And NiP, they are starting to lack on the economy, and if they're having to play with low grenades, we can start to expect NaVi to potentially start running away with this. But Guardian's going to look for the entries. Now, if Forest can get a sneaky headshot here, that could make all the difference. But there is a shot from Guardian. He will miss actually, but they're making the distraction. Getright gets all the kills there with that Mag 7. Perfect bait and switch, and it's going to be a nice advantage. And they will pick up so many weapons. That's massive value now onto the NiP team as Edward slowly but surely makes his way up. And he's got to get damage done. He can't let them survive all those weapons. They're going to pick up 4 weapons. That's insane.
Yeah, NaVi really just walked into the Dragon's Den there, didn't they?
Yeah, that was ridiculous. That's one of those spots where a very wise man once said to me when he was talking to me about, like, I think it was about StarCraft. He's coaching me. He's like, hey, if you're ever ahead, immediately work out what is the one way that you could lose from this position, and then avoid that. And that felt like they walked into that one way they could lose, like walking into the stack there.
As soon as they ascertained that the CTs were there and they worked out like it was like a force buy and stuff, I think at that point you don't want to go into the choke points that are so tight like that. You want to be going into the areas like mid where you can control the choke, where you can smoke off one part of the map and you can actually go around together, and there's a lot less to deal with than one little narrow corridor they've got to work through like it is in Banana. But like we said, that was just great baiting from Forest there. Like, and Getright, just perfect shotgun play there. We've seen him do a lot on Inferno actually. It's one of his trademarks, getting the swag 7 on Inferno and making it work almost anywhere on the map. And
honestly, it was so crucial because NaVi were in a position to build up so much momentum, but they picked up an AWP and 2 AKs.
Yeah, it's gone straight back into it.
So much money. That is so much money. And now NaVi looking to execute up middle. This is actually used to be very strong. Envious used to lead the way with these Tech 9 plays up middle because you move so fast through the smokes. You can actually plant the smokes, force the reposition, and run through them whilst the CTs are repositioning, just spamming away your Tech 9s. It's really strong. I wonder if they have an execute like that. However, NiP, they've fallen victim to that in the past, and they're playing it all the way back. This is a smart way to deal with it. Very controlled, disciplined play here so far from NiP, but it doesn't always matter against the Tech 9s. Alu's got a pistol of his own. Is going to pick up the frag and spot the split onto the B bomb site. Getright's holding it down, delaying the bomb from going out onto the bomb site there, but it's going to be problems here for NiP. They've lost a lot of men, but still with the advantage. That bomb still needs to get planted. There it is. And now the clock has been set onto NiP. They do have kits, of course. And Flamey is going to spot one player by the blue truck. Now, if Flamey is occupied for too long, oh, if only you could have survived for longer, but it still will be effective as Forrest comes in just in the nick of time to save the day. But there's still yet more work to be done. They'll spot the plant, doesn't know where Edward is. Just one bullet, Edward tapping away with that Tech 9, but the shots just aren't accurate enough. But he just needs to kill time at this point. Does Forrest have time for this defuse? He has a kit. It's going to be insanely close. I'm not sure if he has time. Oh, just barely, not enough time, and the bomb will explode, and the round will barely go to NaVi. That's absolutely gutting for NiP.
That is. Well, what a great round from them. Like that dynamic kind of Tech 9 play. Like we saw the set smokes going down, and it really worked for them. Like it was such a crazy round. Like they got the kills in Library, they got the kills in Arch. They were splitting through into CT spawn up to Banana. It was really hard to read from them there. And that one-on-one situation, it looked like Forrest had just about pulled that off, and it's going to be really gutted with that. Like from going from the last round where they actually picked up all those guns and got such great economy, they're now being forced back into an eco here, and this game is slipping away from them. 5 rounds to the bad on Inferno is not a good situation to be in.
And Freiburg actually almost killed Guardian with the Deagle, so almost a repeat there of the previous time they were in a similar situation. Of course, you would expect them to still be a little bit sore from that, so yeah. I think they're going to take more caution against running into stacks. I
really think now they know they're on Deagle rounds, so well, fair play. Seas has made light work of that, but going into Banana is normally not advised. You want to keep it in the areas where you have the control.
So it's just get right at the back of the site now that they have to worry about, and it's hard to see NaVi letting this round go to NiP to just lose the grip of it. We do have NaVi just eliminating position slowly but surely, and now Getright's actually made his way into the back, and he's actually got a free kill. Can he find a quick headshot onto Zeus? That would be massive, but he doesn't. And NaVi, they're in a 4-on-3 situation. It's back under control. Flamey's got the cut-off on the rotating player and the spot on the last one, and NaVi will save themselves a lot of trouble. But Guardian down to 4 HP, Flamey very low. That could have gone really badly had Getright picked up the frag on Zeus.
Yeah, that was quite interesting from NaVi actually. They actually, on an anti-eco, actually split and pincered the Banana Bomb side by sending 2 players up middle as well and going through CT spawn, managing to get that intel and kind of getting all the rotating players as well. Like you said, it could have got pretty dangerous on the B bomb side. Then we'll Getright potentially picking up 2, but NaVi shut it down, and they're now 6 rounds to 2 on Inferno T side. It's an incredibly strong position for them.
And again, if you're just joining us, the winner of this one goes through to the playoffs. The loser will go home. So very important Inferno indeed. There's the re-smoke, the deep banana control. Freiburg getting up close, and again, he's really good at knowing every nook and cranny, all the angles, all the kind of the meta decisions, meta game decisions of boosting on the plant pot. We saw him try to abuse that previously before getting taken down by Guardian, and that was very unusual. Would not normally expect that to happen, but I'm in a position. I mean, they're in a position, Harry, where they're smoked off by NiP, and NiP keeping 2 players on Banana at the moment. You know, what do they do? Do they take middle? Well, how do they approach this?
NaVi, the sort of team, they don't care how low the time gets. They like planting at the 8-second mark. To be honest, they'll just wait it out. They'll wait until those smokes are clear, and then they'll just take it on the last 8 seconds or so, knowing that you haven't got really anything to defend them with. You can see them getting the mid control now. This is the next frag to be very incredibly important. Alu actually manages to pick it up. Guardian replies with one of his own, and there's going to be a quad take now. Forrest is going to be the only man to defend it, and will he be able to get a couple of frags here just to secure this round for CT?
Yeah, this is Forrest bread and butter, playing these kinds of positions, just looking for those headshots, and NiP defending just very, very nicely. It's really smooth, actually, this time around. Guardian, he was the only guy to really get anything done, and it was just that quick pick towards quad, and that was it. So NaVi, this time, they lose out to the sheer individual power of NiP and the defensive setups.
Yeah.
And the interesting thing there was, for me, is that NiP in that round, they put 2 players on Banana behind the smoke. And they have shown in all the other rounds that they only had 1 there. Or if they had more, they were very staggered. They were staggered very far back. So nice little change there from NiP. Didn't come into play though, but I have to see how this works out now. Just a scrappy buy here for NaVi. Alu does make the opening there onto Flamey. Another very tough round for NaVi, decision-making wise. It's one of those rounds where it's like, you know, what map control can we take? Nothing's really safe. NiP are kind of all over the place here. They got Banana taken away from us.
Well, they've got a lot of buff around here. Like the fact they've got 6 already is fantastic. So they can kind of afford to get away with these risky plays. If it pays off for them, then it's absolutely even better news. So they can see that they've already lost a man here. But Guardian is forcing himself onto the AWP almost every single round, and they have been. It has been working very well for them. So it's no surprise they're going to give it a go on this ropey buy. Now they're 1 man down. It's just going to be a case of running down the clock and seeing if NiP will give him a pick.
Okay, well, the patience game then, and it's Exist actually on the blue truck position. He is going to be a little bit too slow. Guardian just smacks him down with that AWP, and now Forest is on the bomb site, so they're slowly going to work their way in, you would expect. NiP throwing in some precautionary flashes, but you know, NaVi, they're taking it so slowly, and that's actually kind of good in a situation where the nades are kind of preemptively coming in from NiP and just completely missing NaVi because they're so slow on the push. But 20 seconds are left now, and this is classic NaVi, but the only push is from the quad side. They have to make this one count. Forest is in the bomb site, only able to pick up 1, and that bomb is going to get planted, and we move into a 2-on-2 situation after plant with a quick movement there from, I believe, Guardian into the balcony, so or into the apartments area. This is going to be very interesting now. Get Right comes in from quad, and it's going to be Guardian to pick up Alu. All on Get Right now. Can he save this situation? Spots the first player. There's the spray down, gets him, and it's going to be Seized. He's got the immediate trade. Textbook stuff there from NaVi on the after plant, and 7-3.
This is why they can take, we can see that there's a tactical pause coming from NiP here. Got themselves in a horrible little rut. Just to go back in that last round, we saw NaVi, like we were saying, they can afford to take these risky buys. When you have an AWP on your side as good as Guardian, if you can buy an AWP, it's always worth it. Even if it means your team are on Tech 9, it's he's so powerful with him. We saw him demonstrating so many picks there, and it was just so good. Once the bomb has gone down for me, like as soon as he got himself in an advantageous position, like up in balcony, he just knew that he was going to pull that off. And yeah, lovely stuff from them. And 7-3. And if we look at the economy on NiP, they've got a couple of players. Well, 3 players have around the 4K mark, and we have Forest on 1,800. I think they're going to have to just do a P250/5-7 round, and I hope it works out for them. If they force this and lose it, it's going to be really devastating for them.
It feels like they weren't really necessarily doing anything wrong with the heavy banana play, because they're still restricting options. But I mean, usually, like for example, if we look back to that round where Get Right basically just stayed to try to get frags, presuming that maybe they'd be kind of gambling instead of playing safe, that there'd be maybe like 1 guy there for a duel that would be winnable. I feel like that kind of play is pretty good for them, because that smoke runs the clock, or those like 3 or 4 smokes runs the clock down so much that they can then always have the 4 guys towards A, and Get Right should be able to spot them safely and then fall back, get the rotation in. It feels like that still should work, but I don't know. Do you think NiP have lost confidence in that banana play?
I think that it's getting this shut down. Like what we're saying is that they're smoking the bottom of banana. They are getting that control, but like we keep saying, NaVi is running the clock down so much that it doesn't really matter.
It's just fine for them.
They're having to fall back, and I think every single time we've seen the bomb go down, it's been on the 8-second mark, and they're just fine with that. Most teams would be panicking. Like they just seem to make their frag somehow, and like Guardian will get a big pick, and you can see like he's just going like all in now. It doesn't really. There's no real method to the madness. It's running up middle and seeing what they can find.
Oh dear! Oh no! Oh, that was very brutal there. Guardian just taking off Zeus's head. Very confused push up middle there, but they are going to pick up the frags. So just Freiburg left now, and you're all right. They just went for that P250 buy, which is good. We didn't want to see them get completely screwed in the economy.
We don't want to get into the rut, or as I referred to it as last game, the sewers of CS. Where you keep forcing and like it gets too deep and then you can't get out of it. So I think that's a wise choice, and they're actually going to lose this half now. But as we said before, never count NiP out. Like they need to claw back into this. They really do need the remaining rounds. They need to make this an 8-7. They need to convert the rest of these rounds into victories, and they need to shut Guardian down. Like they need to do. I think they need to be playing deeper back on the site and making them actually work for it, and battling from that pit area. Crossfires are required.
All right, well, Freiburg's going to get himself down banana again, and I like this, the tried and tested play, but it's a pre-fire coming in from Freiburg there as well, as NaVi try to contest with their own grenades as well, but they're not going to actually win out this time, and Guardian couldn't get himself far enough in front of the grenades to get that pick on Banana. So things settle down a bit here. I think we're going to see a Molotov into the bedroom here. So Exist is going to be in trouble. He's going to have to move, and he might move into the crosshairs of a NaVi player. And he gets out of there alive. I don't believe it. And Alu actually picks up the kill towards Boiler as well. So really big plays here from NiP so far as they take an early round advantage. But they have no nades left apart from a single incendiary, a flash, and there's a minute left in the round. That can be very, very problematic, especially against a team like NaVi that plays slow. Forest is just chilling now on quad. They got a nice crossfire there. Here comes Guardian. Surely there's no way he's going to pull off a quick kill here with that very nasty crossfire. And indeed he will, at his own despair there, he will get taken down, but he creates an opening for Edward, who cannot get the trade. But Zeus will. Seized into the bomb site as well, as Zeus provides that support from the apartments. So nice potential setup here in the afterplan, but in comes Forest from the back. I don't think he has any idea. He will now. Forest doesn't pick up the kill quickly enough. Zeus has an opportunity now to try and save this, and it's gonna be going to Forest. Great stuff there from NiP, and only losing 2 players as well.
I can't believe Exist actually got away with that bedroom kill there. Like, he actually worked in his favour, getting burnt alive there. They thought they kind of had the instant kill on him when he was falling back, but Alu was there. I think that's about the 3rd time he saved someone's bacon there, right? Just be running there for the rotation kill, took them down. And although Guardian got that pick in middle, it just wasn't enough. The rotation from Forest there coming through House was almost perfect. It really pincered the T's and made them panic. They weren't able to work together. They made it like one-on-2 situations there instead of one-on-ones.
We're going to get the continual plays on Banana. They're not really giving up on this. And I completely agree with that. I think it's really strong. NaVi haven't shown that they want to run through. Yeah. They are actually like trying to slow them down from getting on the close angle by tossing in their own Molotovs, which seems a little bit strange, considering they don't commit further than that. But we've got the 3-man Banana set up from NiP. Again, if NaVi were to switch it up and suddenly start going fast onto B, they would have good trading spots with NiP. But they're not. NaVi, I think, are saying, hey, it's working what we're doing right now. So we've got Exist. He's actually, again, playing more of the kind of the pit blue truck area, leaving Forest on the bomb site. So a bit of a mix-up there. Forest going to actually boost Exist up onto the quad roof. And this is a very dangerous position to bust out every once in a while. And Getro's going to go down as well. So we have a NaVi ready to snap on into the bomb site. There's Ali, though, looking in. Can't spot anything just yet, though. Is NaVi going to play it slow? Now coming out 3 players at once. They're going to take down Exist immediately. This is a very bad look here for NiP. Everyone going down straight away. And Freiberg just lucky to escape with his weapon at the moment, but I don't know if they're even going to let him live. Rough times here for NiP indeed as NaVi come back into this. And at a spot where NiP had only just won a round, so now their economy is I don't even want to look at it. Well,
the fact that they're not even getting a kill there when NaVi are executing, it's just showing the dire straits they're in right now. If you're not getting an actual kill onto the terrorists as they come into the bomb site, like something's fundamentally going wrong. Like whether you're not cross-firing properly or you're not anti-flashing there. They saw Exist boost up onto it, but I really do feel like all they need to do is, if they lose the mid control, just fall back and set up the crossfires we know work so well in the pit, in the balcony, in the graveyard, making it work for you instead of having to force yourself into facing them and losing these battles which is continually happening.
Okay, well maybe they can get something going on the very last round where they'll have a buy, but it's going to be a terror buy, so going to be rough, but well, it's going to be starting off well here. Forest picks up the first kill. They have a nice stack towards the apartments, actually, and we're going to have Alu wrapping around the back. This is ridiculous. Alu picks up the AWP. He's going to be in. Oh, no, misses the shot. Zeus wasn't facing him, and Guardian takes him down. Oh, dear. 3-on-3 now as Getright comes in on Boiler, and he is not going to last very long either. Exist. Also going to try. Oh, takes a Molotov to the face, but actually manages to get the kill there onto Guardian. So 2-on-2 all of a sudden, despite the lack of Kevlar on NiP. They might make a go of this as we have Exist repositioning into apartments, but I think that NaVi are really, really expecting someone to come from there. Oh, and yeah, there it is. Sees gets the angle, and that aim punch is too much to deal with for Exist.
This is looking really bad for NiP now. I know I normally say that you can always get it back into situations, but 10 rounds on T side of Inferno, that's such a phenomenal half for NaVi right now, isn't it?
It means that you really need to get that pistol going on your T side and just never get them get them in the sewers, Henry, as you put it. I've never heard anyone call it quite like that. Like what Henry's referring to, I think, is where that you're in that position where you're always committed to force up with your max money bonus.
That's what I mean. Like when you get it's towards the end of the game, the game's really not going in your favour. You've forced a couple of buys, and it's looking like you'll go to you force so many, you're going to draw. They're going to draw, get 15 rounds in the next round, and you're kind of having to force it again. But here we go, Guardian opening up the fracking again onto Exist, and this is just going from bad to worse. So as we say that, they actually managed to pick up a few frags. It's going to be
nice.
Good, nice little spray there to finish things off.
And that's so important too. Like 5 rounds, considering that they're on 4, like every single one counts. 5 to 10. Again, never count out NiP. They're going on to the T side, and this is the map where it's CT sided unless the CTs can't get the economy going. And if we have enough back and forth rounds early on, although NiP don't have a big buffer of rounds to work with, then they can keep NaVi in a really weird spot on the economy. So let's see how this pistol turns out. So Edward doing the usual spot down middle just to see if he can get a fast pick or some info. Not going to happen just yet, as NiP are looking into that pressure of B, and it will actually force one player, I think it is Seized, to move over from Speedway towards B actually. So they are forcing a bit of movement, but the bomb's just chilling really far away over by the apartments. So it'll be interesting to see how NiP decide to actually make the call here.
Yeah, I think they're just trying to peel the CTs over to the B-bomb site, do anything they can to just lose their vision and get the panics ensued. And like, if they can get a couple of frags, it'll be absolutely phenomenal. Yeah, this is going to work out perfectly. But we can actually see there is another member not rotating at all. He's going to be lurking in the back there.
I don't believe it. No. Is this actually happening right now?
This
Edward.
is real life.
But the plant's actually safe. It wasn't a plant towards the blue truck, and it's actually a safe plant. This gets the kill with the jump clock. I don't believe that Edward was still there.
That's the really, really good awareness from him, I guess. In CSGO, you have to remember, it's not like 1.6 or Source, or in Source you could, but you can actually see the bomb on the radar. And so they could probably see the T's running in, but no sign of the bomb. So he probably just thought, okay, we've lost the first frag. I'll go all in here and just hope that they are running that strat. But the fact that NiP planted the bomb behind the box there is so unlucky for him.
Yeah, you would always expect the apartments plant there. Why not? There's surely no one there.
Oh, that could have been something really special.
I was very, very shocked, but that's an impressive start to the second half, and Forrest is going to make it even better, but he will go down to 9 HP. But they will pick off one player. Now they've got to be careful not to get picked off here by this scout, just slowly picking away at them. That's often the downfall of many teams in a spot like this, and it has moved to Guardian. However, they are moving up Banana. That's a nice entry there from Exist. That should really just secure it now. Would be surprised if they get more damage done. There's the smoke. The plant will come as well. And I guess Guardian will keep hold of that scout for the next round.
I think that'll be a useful save for him. If he can make something work that, maybe a face at the top of a middle next round, maybe be able to pick up an early frag. Great work from NiP there. Nice methodical round. They really don't want to drop any weapons, only Freiberg going down there. Bomb's gone down quite cleanly, and I don't think they'll be too bothered about the CT saving their guns here. It's more important that NiP actually keep their rifles.
It's going to be interesting to see how long NiP can keep this going, because I mean, the situation that you described can happen if NiP lose a round just as NaVi spent everything and then won the round. So if they can just reset them like that, it's one of those spots where you never want to ever lose a round, right? Obviously, you just don't want to lose, but that can end up working out in your favor if the rounds play out like that. And that could be very beneficial for NiP. That would be the best case scenario to get them ahead of RV economically and also on the rounds. But they're going to be working on a very clean round now, I suppose. So what's their approach here? Got a 4-man stack here from NaVi on towards that B-bomb site. Not just a stat, but they're looking for the aggressive trades behind the tagging power of that scout of Guardian. NiP though, they don't want anything to do with Banana right now. There's nobody there. That's really gutting for NaVi. You can see they're all raring to go up on Banana, but nothing's coming their way. And they are going for the big rotation. All the players towards A now. Oh dear, Exist going to take down Guardian. That's the scout out of play, and now they're going to start expanding back into Banana. And Flamey's going to hear the stepping as well, and the calls are bound to come in too. But there's NiP players everywhere, so it's just a pretty strange round. with the movement from NiP, but now, wow, nice headshot there from Zeus. And it looks like NiP are like, oh, we got the B site, running towards B. Yeah. Zeus gets the kill, oh, running back to A again.
Benny Hill here.
But Edward behind this smoke can certainly cause a lot of damage. Oh, they do spot him from the side. Get Right actually just ruined his day there. I'm not sure he would have been detected, but it's going to be Zeus picking up some extra cash there into the bank. Extra $600 from the SMG frag. That's all he's going to pick up, though. And it's going to be a 3-man survival for NiP, so that's pretty acceptable.
Yeah, absolutely. And here we go, then. This is where the game begins yet again. This is going to be a very, very important round of NiP really want to start their campaign on T side. They've managed to win the pistol, convert the eco rounds in their favour as well. This is where it gets serious, and they want to show their dominance and whether they can have the same sort of impact that NaVi had that whole game, and managed to actually get 10 rounds on the terrorist side. They actually aren't going to go for the AWP approach like NaVi were so set up for, working around the picks of Guardian. They're going to rely on their kind of classic play of working together and picking up picks as their wolf pack.
I love that little move from Freiburg, by the way, as we saw, I think it was C's looking down Banana. Freiburg knows the positions that they're going to play on Banana, but they're going to go straight through the smoke. Really aggressive play there. And Flamey just accepts it. It's like, just roll into my M4, guys. Yep. And 2 of them go down. That's a disaster for NiP. And Flamey's still just on awkward positions, just kind of just on top of the car there, on the boost as well. Just catching off 3 players, and NiP didn't know what hit them there. They didn't expect those positions, and that's costing them massively now. As NaVi, they needed to win this round. This would have been the one for NiP to start getting that tight game situation.
Absolutely. You know, Flamey picking those 3 huge frags there. Like, that's so big.
Forrest is going to go down there to Zeus, and it's all on Get Right. 1 on 5. And he's going to fall as well. 11 to 8 is the scoreline now, as NaVi are looking fairly secure at the moment, and NiP, they can still field the buy though.
Yeah, this is the one. If they lose this round, they're onto an eco though. So this is a very important round. They are committed. They've got the AKs. We'll have a look at their grenades as well. They've got a reasonable grenades. They've got all the smokes they need and flashbangs for a full execution should it come to it. But we can see no AWP coming in the hand of CTs here. So they're going to be playing the same game again. Wouldn't be surprised if they went for that same aggressive play on Banana. You can see them at the top there, looking for any sort of rushes coming in, and now just falling back to the side. It's going to be a more passive setup now after that big exchange they had in last round.
So the blue truck smoke already there from Forrest, very early on, 122 through that. So really early execute in from NiP, straight up into middle. Going to play the bread and butter execute into that bomb site and see if it's going to pan out for them. Test Navi's defense. Great entry there from Alu over by Archside. They're just expanding to all the angles at the moment. But Guardian, excellent result there with that Den 4A1S of his, and Zeus is still in the pit. So this is problems here for NiP. It's a 2-on-2, but these positions are so strong to prevent this bomb from going down. And Alu's the last man standing. All hope rests on his shoulders, but he cannot deliver. And I was almost going to say, oh, you know, NiP, well, they lost the last round. Hey, that could work out for them if they only would win this one to reset their opponents, but no, that was the one round we were talking about before.
Absolutely.
Not going to happen. Now it's getting really risky for them.
Absolutely. So this is getting close to the sewer moment now. So we saw NiP actually adopting a very fast set piece there. We don't really see a lot of those from them. Like, they normally fill out the map a lot more. But we saw the early smokes get onto a truck, and it just didn't really convert into anything for them. Didn't manage to get the opening frags. And NaVi in a very strong position right now. We can see it's a full pistol buy from NiP. Freiburg going down by himself. No one to back him up there. And Alu has got head armor, but I'm not really sure he's going to do it. The CTs are so aggressive there on Banana. He's not going to beat them in a one-on-one battle.
Indeed. Well, I mean, again, you can't count out NiP if they're in the sewers. You may as well call them the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles.
Oh my god, you've just owned it.
I've gone there. Existed Splinter. Alright, we got Guardian there with a great shot on the AWP. Just working that library. Guardian is just, you cannot fall to this guy in this series so far. He's been excellent with those shots, hitting all the ones that count, and they are going to lock this down without any losses. Great economy round for NaVi, burn up that cash.
Well, here we go then. This is obviously going to be one of the rounds that defines the game for us. We can see that the 5 AKs have come out. The AWP is out on Guardian though. Where he can actually, they've got such a buffer to play with. He knows he can get away with doing like things that are a bit audacious and actually a bit scary. Here we go. So he's going for the mid pick here. He wants to find a T and has locked this down and kind of close this game before it gets too close again.
Indeed, so it's, they've just got one man towards Banana have NaVi at the moment, so things not looking too stressful at the moment. really slow round for NiP so far as well. They just have to worry about Edward, who's just lurking, and this is the bait from Seized here, and there it is. Oh, what a reaction there from Get-Right. Takes down Edward and loses very limited HP. Oh, he goes straight up there for the next player. They spotted 2 now towards the apartments, so they know that there's just 1 man on B and it's Flamey. He's going to preemptively push through, gets both frags. What a beautiful play, Flamey with a triple. Excellent stuff there, brutalizing the entire lineup of NiP. Forest will get the return kill, but he has a hell of a job on his hands as he's against 3 players. The only thing that really is going to help him here is that he has time to make a choice, a decision. But this is going to be very rough considering that right now NaVi have enough players to split between both bomb sites. Forest going to make his way through apartments. Oh, I don't believe it, Zeus. He is just using his smarts here to work out that this position should make him safe, and he gets the frag. Forest, there's not much he can do there with such a smart play from Zeus.
Dude, that Flamey guy, he is just he's sick. Like
it's crazy.
That play couldn't have been more perfect. He read it perfect, got down there, ascertained where the T's were, and managed to pick up that huge 3-man there, which not only wins in the round, but it's going to take the win completely out of NiP's sails. They're going to be wondering how the hell that's happened. And you can see here now NaVi closing in on match point, and they're going to be on another eco here. They have got Glock armor, PT-50 in armor and Tech 9s in the bag, but it's going to be a very difficult round to win indeed. Like, if they can't convert these AK rounds into wins, well, what chance have they got of doing with the Tech 9s of no utility whatsoever?
Yes, it is looking really, really hard right now. There is no sugarcoating it at the moment as the pistol armor play comes in. Get-Right gets 2 quick kills with that Tech 9, just rattling away. 1 more player towards Pit, and he gets the kill, but gets caught in the side of the head by Seized. Long range on the M4A1S, and 15-8. Match point for NaVi, just 1 more, and they send NiP packing, and they move straight on forwards through to the playoffs.
It'll be interesting to see how NiP approaches round now. We've seen them try a couple of things. Fast execute at the start of the round, slow play, and it hasn't really worked out for them whatsoever this half. It's going to have to be something different pulled out of the bag and a new approach required, I believe.
Alright, so C's going to just dart on down towards Banana. Aggressive play here. NaVi haven't shown a lot of aggressive play so far down Banana, but this round's there's a little bit of a difference, just a bit of a mix-up. And they're keeping 2 players there as well. Sometimes when they have done it, they've kind of left 1 guy there. We'll have to see how long they remain with 2 players on an angle. Always love that pop flash.
That's great.
Yeah, Shox is great at using that one. I think I saw it most from him. Shoutouts to Shox. And at the moment it's all quiet on the Western fronts. Not much going on as NaVi wait in their setup. Very, very patient. Still with a deep, deep hold on Banana. At the moment, NiP looking for any slither of information, but it's not going to arrive just yet. They are going to have to make NaVi move. And then they go with the grenades as they slowly push on in. Zeus now getting flashed back a little bit. Got to be careful not to have a nade in his hands as they push him. There he goes, and the bunny hop, the bait. It actually worked for the trade. That play is going to happen right now and give NiP the split that they needed. But these 2 players push so far close. Oh no, Freiburg goes down straight away. They didn't expect it. Aliu cannot get the spray. And that's the bomb down at the bottom of Banana. 18 seconds left. NiP, they've got so much to do and no time to do it right now. Just got to play the time of NaVi, and they've secured this one. The frag will come. Oh, it gets the frag. Exist. Beautiful stuff there. So well played by Exist, and it's going to be 1 more round for NiP. And that's the story for them.
Edward could have denied that. Like, once he got Get-Right spotted him, all he had to do was hide behind that hay bales there, and he could have taken that down in second middle there. But fantastic work for them, and against all odds, NiP somehow find around there. And although they've got 6 to go, that was exactly what they needed to get themselves back into the game. You can see NaVi still do have a 4-buy here, but it's not complete utility. They haven't got the Molotovs in their arsenal. They're going to be pushing down Banana here and gaining this map control and seeing what can come of it.
That's such a sick way to play it as well, having 2 guys so deep like that on Banana that you would never normally expect that. I mean, you can see that NiP were completely caught off guard by that. So NaVi have been really winning on like a cerebral level in many of these plays, and Dust 2 as well, and really making it count. And at the moment, we're having another slow round, but Get-Right's about to make contact on Boiler. 2 players towards Arch side for NaVi and 2 players towards Quad side. This is a very strong defensive setup here on the A bomb site. And this is how it should be done. Flamey just spotting for the info. He's going to fall back if the push comes. Oh no, this is getting blown up before it comes in. And now it's down to 2 players, Freiburg and Alu, as they try to search desperately for an option. But where is it? At the moment, they didn't even get middle control out of these frags, or out of these losses, these sacrifices. And they now need to make a crazy entry. But Edward on the quad boost, it's not going to happen. And NaVi are going to pull through 16-9. Really well played by NaVi. I mean, you've got to hand it to them. This series, they just played so solid.
Individual play, it just looks like NiP are outclassed there. It just came down to raw talent. Like, Guardian completely dominated that. Like, both maps as well. It wasn't just Dust 2, which is normally an Orpus playground. Inferno, who was actually doing that as well. He was stellar on the T side of Inferno, making the Orp do all the work for them and getting the important rounds. And yeah, it was a really difficult one to watch for NiP. It's really heartbreaking to see them go out. They were my team to watch and to win this tournament, and you hate to see them go out. They're such an emotional team. You can see it. It's just.
All right, so well. We have, again, some very, very smartly dressed individuals who are over there at the desk. But before we go there, we now know what we're going to be up against on tomorrow for the matches. So what are your expectations going for tomorrow?
It's going to be an interesting one. Like, I think everyone's prediction of Fnatic winning the tournament may come true now. Like, but they've kind of recovered and made their way back into it. But you can never kind of rule out Titan, obviously. I think they're obviously proving themselves this tournament. And it's going to be really exciting to see how that pans out. I feel like, for me, Fnatic probably are the #1 seed for this now, going into the semi-finals and going forward. What about you? What are your thoughts?
Titan Fnatic is an interesting one. I mean, Titan, they've been so up and down lately. We know that they will have the skill to do it, and they can deliver. They can play to the level of any of these teams. It's something that Thorin's always saying, and it is just true. And at this event, they've been really sharp. I mean, they of course came through on this on this result, and it's been very impressive. I've actually put them as my wildcard pick, but okay. I kind of in my heart of hearts, I actually thought NaVi would make it through, but I didn't want to be like everyone else predicting NaVi. So it's like, hey, my next best guess is Titan. So sure. It's been really cool to see how well they're playing. But Fnatic, they are tried and tested against Titan. I'm gonna go with Fnatic as well. How can you not?
Yeah, I think you're absolutely right there. And then if we see the lineup, we saw NaVi already play Fnatic earlier today, and that was a 2-0 in favour of Fnatic. So you kind of have to pit it in their favour. You're absolutely right.
All right, guys. Well, for one last time tonight, we are going to throw it to our Gfinity Angels.
Why are we doing this? Why is this in our contract?
I don't even
Why
know,
is this in our contract, Scoot?
It's late.
Who negotiated this deal?
I just want this to end.
Well, you're the one with the super agent, man, not me. I'm independent, man.
He's getting involved next time, frankly.
All right, so we've said it a lot. Like, they did what they needed to do. Yet again, you know, NaVi had one thing to do, and they nailed it.
Well, you might have said that a lot, but as someone who doesn't speak exclusively in cliches,
you don't?
No, I don't. I want to point out, you know, I said this was going to be a real tough series for NaVi, for NiP, sorry. NaVi had Dust 2 all day. That was always going to happen. We were always going to see the second map. And, you know, this is what I'm still talking about, the malfunctioning NiP. It's such a stark contrast to the team that we saw almost 2-0 Fnatic the other day. And they've come up against NaVi, sure. They're in a do-or-die situation. Maybe they've had time to focus. But no excuses, really. They were superior, you know. They were just... And Guardian did have a big impact on both maps as well. So.
Yeah, okay, so from the NaVi side of things, obviously very well done. They were convincing on both maps. Even though the score looked close on the first one, they were so far ahead. It wasn't actually as close as it looked. And then in terms of NiP, what a disappointment. Remember, they only needed to win one map. And they went in knowing that. They already knew the situation. It didn't have to be rounds. It didn't have to be 2. They just had to win one of these 2 maps. And they couldn't get it done at all.
The NiP of old is so calm and collected there. They don't even get ruffled or flustered by the first map going. And they just come in with a perfect strat for the second map, which, lest we forget, was their pick.
Yep.
So, yeah, it's, still work to do. Still work to do.
And just consider what this does to the potential playoffs. Now, think of all the teams that people would have picked, like Fnatic, Envious, NiP, Virtus Pro. These are the 4 teams that should have been there, you know?
Yeah,
2 of them aren't going to be there.
I think it's actually great for the tournament. I mean, I really do. You know, Virtus Pro and NaVi being there, I think it expands it up. You know, in terms of that global viewership that comes in to tournaments, and it's not about the status quo anymore. I'm sure Envious are a little bit saddened by the way it went. You know, to go out by 2-3 rounds, it is pretty devastating to be on the receiving end of that. And I'm sure NiP are feeling the same as well. It's like, look how well we played against Fnatic.
So here's the thing, Rich. You probably thought to yourself, well, I've won that prediction over Thorn because he said like 2-0 for NiP, whereas I said like 1-1 NaVi get through. But no, you've activated my trap card, my friend.
Yeah, here we go.
Who was my dark horse
Shields
to make it into the playoffs there?
Yeah.
Beating one of the most pedigreed teams of all time. But listen, sometimes you can call them. Sometimes you can't, you know.
Yeah, well done, mate. Well done. And
the old trap card.
Massive.
The trap card activated.
Oh, God.
I love working with you, by the way.
Yeah, obviously.
Yeah.
So, again...
Until that check clears.
Yeah.
Okay.
And then you can just piss off, mate.
Yeah.
So, Group 1, obviously, just to remind you guys, are Group A. Fnatic is going to come out #1 team in the world, but they come out #2 in the group. And NaVi, team you just saw, #7 in the world, according to Thorin, owns that group. Group B, Virtus Pro, #5 in the world, comes out #2. And again, coming out top of that group, Titan, #6 for you. So, again, top teams coming out. Missing 2. Obviously, in that sense, you know, no Envious, #2, and no Ninjas in Pajamas, #4. But
did you say Virtus Pro was #1 there?
They come out #2 in the group, and #5 for you.
Immediately, that sets up a classic matchup.
Yes.
Fnatic, #1 team in the world, against the one team who routinely actually beat them in best of 3s, and the team that play them the hardest on their favorite maps, Titan versus Fnatic. Last time they played in a best of 3, well, last time it was actually 1-1 overall. Titan won the first one, Fnatic won the second one. It's always a great matchup. So this has the potential to be a classic right now.
Yeah. Well, I know James is sitting down. I think he's got Guardian. I don't have my screen up anymore, but I think that was Guardian.
It is Guardian.
Yeah,
yes.
there you go. There, now I can see. James, take it away. Let's hear what Guardian has to say. Obviously, he's a very happy man.
Thank you, Scooch. Yes, I am joined by Guardian. Now you have taken down NiP 2-0. Absolutely fantastic performance, especially from yourself there. How are you feeling after that? Did you have that mentality that you guys were going to go in and win it, or were you kind of feeling a bit of the pressure there?
We, of course, felt the pressure there, but yeah, it's always hard to play against NiP in the last game, even though either us or NiP would be out of the group. So we started with shaky results at the beginning, and then we somehow find the way how to play.
Now, Dust 2 is a map that you guys are extremely strong on and confident on, but we talk about the NiP magic and them being able to pull out games out the bag. They didn't seem to be on form themselves that much, but I don't think we can say that as in it take anything away from you, because you guys played absolutely fantastic. What was kind of the deciding factor, and how convincingly you seemed to take down NiP both games?
Well, I would start with Dust 2, that we played really well on T side, CT side, where even though we made a lot of mistakes on CT side, but I was there to help somehow, and the magic was working for me, fortunately. And then we somehow had shaky rounds on T side, and we let them make the comeback. And I don't know, we made some few rounds that we have like 100% that we will win them, and that was the key factor, that we have some rounds that we can win anytime. And yeah, and on Inferno it was like winning clutch rounds and shooting headshots first.
That's always a good thing, especially in Counter-Strike. And now looking at obviously how this format and the group has worked out, obviously you guys are going to be happy you are through, but what are your kind of thoughts and opinions on it? Because everyone's given me kind of mixed feelings on it so far.
Actually, I liked it, because best of 3s are like, okay, you lose one map and then you can win anyway. But now it's like you have to play 100% every single game. So it's good that always we have some good games, not only 1 or 2 games and then we are like through the group stage. So yeah, I liked it.
Now, obviously, got 4 more teams left in this. It's going to be very tough going forward, but you guys do seem to be on a roll right now. What's the confidence like for the whole team? How are you guys feeling?
We are confident enough to face NVS, I think. We played them at last event and we won. I think it was ESL Pro League in Cologne. So we know we can win them, and we just need to play our game, and yeah, we need to show some skills.
With the Envious League, just to let you know, it is Titan that made it through in the end because of how it worked out. So Titan went first, and then Virtus Pro went second. So the feeling is on Titan, maybe. How do you feel about that?
It's the same because actually we won Titan in the finals of ESL Pro League, but of course there's Kenyes that can win the game himself sometimes. But yeah, they seem to be like balanced now by addition of RPK. So it will be a hard game, and yeah, the same. We have to play it the same like we did now against NiP.
Well, it's very late here, so we're going to round it up quick as possible. We'll give you one last question here. How are you enjoying London? How have you enjoyed the whole Gfinity experience so far?
I really like it. It's probably my first event like this in the cinema, and the venue is very nice. We have everything close, even the hotel, so it's a good experience for me, and I really love it.
Brilliant. Well, thank you for your time, Guardian. Go off and enjoy in time to celebrate, I'm sure, ready for tomorrow. We will send it right back to Scoots at the desk.
Thank you, James, and obviously congratulations to Guardian and the rest of the
NaVi
NaVi crew.
Celebrate too hard. He's got a big game tomorrow, hasn't he?
Yeah, he's got
yeah, you got loads of time to celebrate. Yeah, like 8 hours.
Yeah, not quite that much. So again, so let's we're gonna walk through some replays, but again, you know, it's kind of nice to see a couple different people in, right? It's nice to see a Titan on that Sunday. It's nice to see a NaVi on the Sunday. Again, a lot of fans of NiP. A lot of fans of Envious, but again, nice to spread the wealth around a little bit, get a little bit more team exposure.
Okay, Pinko, Commie, Scoots.
Share the wealth. Share the wealth.
Scoots is
how ironic.
It turns out it wasn't capitalism, he was actually sharing the wealth.
I was. See, it goes this way, it doesn't go this. So you guys do this.
The idea of an evil genius, this guy talking about sharing the wealth. We're taking all your sponsors.
Anyway,
okay, Mr. William Morris.
Stuff happened. People died. DDK talked about chess. And then I was waiting for the game to be over. That was that round. Next, that's it. End of the game. Highlights over. Okay.
It's smooth.
I remember that round. It was good.
Looks like they're going to be kicking off more replays.
I'm hoping that this is going to be a Guardian highlight reel because he dropped some crazy numbers on Dust 2, actually. And, you know, we talked about how he hadn't been quite as effective in previous games. He really stepped it up for this one. And I thought Flamey as well, you know, a guy that, you know, you've had a few gentle jibes at him, Duncan, not like you, but, you know, you've had...
Out of character, for sure.
Yeah, you know, so obviously he must have really upset you somehow, you know. Nah, not really. But, yeah, I thought he played really well, and here we go, this was awesome, like, he gets a double there, and then, yeah, I mean, that's vintage Guardian, that was the stuff he used to do all the time in Source, and, yeah, actually, when he found his level in CSGO, it hasn't been quite as apparent. But now that this NaVi team kind of finding the rhythm and evolving a bit more, it's happening more and more frequently. And seriously, like, if Guardian's on point, they've got everything in the team to really, really do well. But he was a difference maker against NiP. I don't think they really knew how to handle him. I mean, I did say at the start, like, they've recently changed their tactics on Dust 2. That was definitely a factor. They had an amazing comeback where they won something like, what was it, 10 or 11 rounds? Yeah, 10 or 11 rounds unanswered. And NiP nearly got back into it, and you thought, oh, NaVi going to choke. They had a wicked timeout. We love a good timeout. That's how you do it, Americans. You call for a timeout, and it happens in the round that you need it to be relevant. Yeah, little lesson for you there, Team Liquid. And, yeah, they managed to, you know, reset themselves, compose themselves, and close out that first map, which was vitally important. And then from there, you see NaVi in the ascendancy, and quite rare, actually. Ninjas in pajamas. They had that look about them, deer in the headlights.
There was no NiP magic. They never were winning the clutches. They never were great. Aside from that initial run where they basically just got the perfect start at CT, yeah, they never had any real comeback, you know.
But why do you think that is done? Because, I mean, you know this team intimately.
This tournament alone in isolation has been a unique one. Like we said, on day one, Forrest, the guy who's been struggling all this time, had a great day, not today. And also, other members of the team, even Alu, the rock that you could rely on, he had a very up and down time. Get Right still had some highlights. I think this, across the board, is a pretty bad day for NiP.
Yeah, I think you're right. I mean, I'm kind of disappointed for them. As much as I agree with the sentiment, it's amazing to see NaVi top that group. And this is, again, like we talked about it with, you know, Cloud9, can the sleeper awaken? NaVi go on and top that group. The
thing is, this is actually
Fnatic and NiP in there.
Only the second time, let me think. Yeah, I think it's only the second time since Fifth Lauren left that NiP's failed to make it out of a group. The only other time was when they had the iOS Pantamera tournament, and then That was where only 3 made it out.
They can have a pity party with Envious.
Yeah, and we're going to show you Group A, like you're talking about right now. But again, NaVi, top of the board with a big 7 points. Again, here's the final standings of Group A. NaVi, Fnatic going forward. Unfortunately, NiP, Vox, and Liquid going home, watching tomorrow. Very, very nice to
worth
see.
pointing out, NiP, NaVi, the only team in this group to win 2 whole sets, to just take the two-map series twice. Every other team won at best.
Yeah, and I think it's safe to say that no one thought that NaVi would actually win this group.
No,
come out on top, for sure.
Definitely not.
And then Group B, we'll flip to in just a second, and you're going to see, obviously, the final standings on that. Titan sitting on top. Again, probably the same kind of philosophy. No one would have thought, maybe Titan squeaks out, but probably no one thinks that Titan sits at the top of it.
Especially not convincingly beating Virtus Pro. I mean, the thing with this group was, this was the group that had no margin for error, because the top 3 teams all won all their games except 1 set of losses each, and then came down to round difference.
I mean, the way I saw it going was I thought Envious was going to top the group. Virtus Pro were going to sneak in second. Titan would just miss out. You know, as has been typical of them recently. You know, then you got Cloud9 and Immunity kind of fighting out for the bargain basement. Cloud9 are massively better than Immunity, it's got to be said. But yeah, that's how I saw the group going. So really surprised that Envious aren't going to make it into the final day.
Yeah. And then, of course, this leads us to our bracket for tomorrow. 2 semifinals and a grand final. The semifinals are best of 3.
They put some work in on that bracket.
So our first one will be Titan versus Fnatic. That's going to be at 12 noon our time.
Yeah.
Again, best of 3. Second one, NaVi Virtus Pro. And then our grand final is a best of 5.
And they say, you know, no good act goes unpunished. So Titan top their group. You're present. Oh, match with Fnatic, best team in the world.
Like, what? Hang on a minute. Yeah.
Thanks, NaVi.
Yeah. Thanks, NaVi. Big time. But you know, like you say, it's great to see some different names in there. I mean, what's interesting, of course, is that with NaVi and Virtus Pro squaring up against each other, which I think is going to be a great match, by the way. You're going to get one of these underdog dark horse teams, Duncan picking NaVi, me picking Virtus Pro. You're going to get one of those dark horses in the final. That's guaranteed now. So it's already a super interesting tournament just from that perspective alone.
So just to wrap it up,
yeah,
we've done 2 days. Yeah. What's your highlight so far? Like, of the 2 days? Is it a game? Is it just a series?
My highlight?
Yeah.
Probably, here's an interesting highlight, just to throw it out there, okay? Probably that sort of wry smile that Happy gave after they lost that series, where they were like, probably doesn't even matter. And then later on, he just made that tweet that just said, fuck. So one time you let me drop it because I was quoting.
And now you've officially sworn.
Let's all do some high fives.
Now we're all getting fired. And again, same question for you. Like
I didn't even say that. It's a quote.
Yeah.
I don't know why Happy's
you can't get in trouble
throwing on stream. It's pretty inappropriate, quite frankly.
You're a journalist and you need to quote properly and source. You did both those things. So
I wouldn't want to change his quote.
Yeah. And as for you, like again, same kind of thing. What's your highlight so far after 2 days?
For me, it's all about the Australian guys in Vox.
Okay.
Like they brought so much to the tournament. They really performed in a way that I didn't think they were going to be able to. You know, we've talked about them as being like, oh, you know, they're going to take a map off someone, and like, it's really like almost. Oh, here we go.
Oh no!
Yeah. Come here, buddy.
There
I
he
believed
is.
in you, mate.
Oh,
Give me a kiss.
he's being draped. Whoa.
We've
talking about it. You can wear the
Oh, we've officially gotten R-rated now.
Mate. So there you go. I've got my. Thanks, buddy. I got my
biased.
See. That's what happens. Basically, if you pander to a region, they come over, they love you, shower you with gifts. You might want to learn something about that. You know what I mean?
Hey, Virtus Pro, well done.
It's too. It's
no flag.
It's too late.
Shut it down.
Shut it down.
Okay.
But no.
I've got one last chance.
but no, seriously, for me, Vox's performance here, because you can see that clear evolution, they can be really proud. I mean, they narrowly missed out on being on the final day. That's how insane it is. So for an Australian team to have that level of performance, that's bonza.
Yeah, and it's like we talked about. If we went to standard best of ones, they are in. You know, they are in the semifinals. Yeah. All right, gentlemen, thank you very much. Been a pleasure today, all day, obviously. Tomorrow we're going to start right at 12 noon our time. 2 semifinals and a grand final. You don't want to miss it. $50,000 on the line. First place, 25 grand. We'll see you tomorrow.
I'm on it.
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 I'm on it.